Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. Them one we just waiting to exhale from slavery. Plenty hostility to make the vibes be hazy, to turn the earth into an atmosphere to fear the hemisphere. Babylon, the city of adversity, complex of complexity to make man uneasy, and still continue sequels of unequal daily. Try to make shatter breath mystery so we don't breathe deeply, to have our society full of anxiety. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. Once we up in puffing with anger and raging, and running out of breath, upset, hyperventilating. Some be gasping for air cause of the press of young pressure, and those in sufferation feel like they suffocating from economical segregation, strangulation, and all of the fast teaching them what in circulation. Situation be causing people heart palpitation. Snake toxic to nature and the nation. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. I put to rest the respiratory system. Uniform brutality, bronchitis, them victim. Them want exit your oxygen from out of existence. Fixated and fantasize about man asphyxiation. Them want asthma, they breath of life just like an infection. And got the air polluted with them wicked intention. Try to panic attack we with trial tribulation. They toxic to nature and the nation. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress. Babylon, why your breathless? Breathe in strength, without stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, without stress.
Shalom, 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 Mishpachah. Shalom and welcome to Friday Night Live. Welcome back. Let us know if you can see our faces clearly and you can hear the sound of our voice. Put a one in the chat so we can make the necessary adjustments. Loud and clear, Brother Gerald. All right, one. All praises.
Happy belated New Moon Day to the Mishpachah worldwide. Shalom, happy Friday Night Live. I pray that everybody is in excellent health. All praises to our King, and thank you all for being here again. We give all praise to our King. Go ahead, Elder. Go ahead. Knock it out. Knock it out. Come on.
Oh, boy.
Come on, Elder.
All praises.
All right, all praises, all praises. Greetings, family worldwide, to the family down in the Caribbean. Shalom and welcome. Over in South and Central America, shalom to you all, and shalom to the families right here in these divided states of America. Across the border in Canada, shalom, shalom. Over in the UK, shalom. In Africa, shalom. in Europe, the Middle East, the Far East, and every island of the sea. We greet you all by saying Shalom, Happy Friday Night Live. I hope and pray everyone is doing well and that you had a wonderful day. Those of you who are leaving the plantation, I pray that your day was good. I know the trouble that we all get on the plantation, but these things are only for a time. Scripture says to occupy until he comes. Hallelujah. So we just have to do so and keep it pushing all the way through. Without further ado, Elder is getting ready to launch. So we'll have him come out and he's going to say a short word of prayer to begin tonight's broadcast.
It is a good thing to give thanks, Heavenly Father. We thank you for gathering us together on this special occasion, Friday Night Live. We thank you for the day spent. You protect us, you guide us. We pray as our teachers is ready, that Father, that thou may bless them, speak to them, through them, and the reader as they read and teach. Father, give them the strength, the courage, your Holy Spirit, that they too may continue to serve you. And we all will join together and give you all the praise because we love you and we thank you. Through your Son, Yeshua, we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you, Elder. All right, family, before we get started with tonight's broadcast, we are going to be hosting Passover here. And those of you who are interested, please send me an email. We're trying to raise some funds, get it together so we can be able to complete the costs for the services and everything. We on Shabbat, we will give you all the other information that you may need as far as hotel rooms, if you need that, and just a little bit more on the venue. And hopefully for those, because normally in Shabbat, everyone comes out, and that'll be a better time to bring everything out. Tomorrow night, we're going to be on the prayer line at 8 o'clock so we can hang out with the Hebrews and talk about whatever, right? And hopefully it'll be even better than the first night.
Yeah.
And hope that many of you all will come out just to see each other's faces and even have a conversation. You don't have to stay out all night, even though we almost ended up being out all night. And some brethren came in a little bit late because of their scheduling, but that's okay. We don't mind. The point is that we want to see and meet and talk and just have a wonderful time. Right? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And that's basically it. Anything else you want to say before we get started?
You mentioned the Passover already.
Yep, Passover.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you're coming, if you're not, even if you can't make it, still send us the emails so we could know what songs you would like to hear on the program. Also, the playlists in the background when we're playing our music, likewise. That way we can update and adjust accordingly. Let's see what else.
And we had a conversation with the couple, basically the lady in charge of the space, and she knows that she's an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
She said that there were some other Hebrew group that brought that to her attention some time ago, and so she's aware and she's learning a little bit here and there. So that's a wonderful thing. We were looking at another place before we found that place.
Yeah.
And that other place was, I think, was a Mormon person or something like that.
Yeah, it was a beautiful place, but it was the Mormons that had it, and then it was kind of way out.
A little too way out.
A little bit too out for folks to kind of get there.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had a conversation with her husband for about a good 45 minutes about the same thing. And he was interested. He was asking the questions.
Hallelujah.
So
Hallelujah. So
we plant the seed. Let's see what happens from there. Everything's in the Most High's hand. We're waking up our people worldwide before it's too late. So,
Sister Zania, as far as the email, just my usual email. You should have my email, agulab77@gmail. Just send me
let me put mine back in the chat.
an email. Yeah, well, for the songs, send it to Brother O'Shea. He's going to put his email address, I guess, in the chat. Okay. All right. So, in tonight's broadcast, we have been doing a series on the Overlords, dealing with the Jubus and how they operate in politics and religion and many other aspects of life. Technology, we did the Blue Star over Jerusalem to kind of expose the technology that's being set up and designed to usher in the Antichrist or whoever it is that's going to rule, the false prophets or whoever. Basically, what the Bible described to us as a very turmoil, a troublesome time for the world, especially for the house of Israel, because of the mark that they want to bring about. A lot of things are put in place right now. They got the red heifer genetically modified so that they can do the sacrifices. Recently, I noticed that a lot of people are now being allowed, the Jubus are allowed to go up on the Temple Mount to pray. Before that was not permitted. Now they're starting to do that in small groups. So they are definitely working towards getting things ready for whoever's going to sit over there to rule the world. And in tonight's broadcast is an extension. This is the sports edition of that, number 5, kind of showing how sports is being used as a tool to get that thing together. And so you're going to see some connections here with current affairs, and it's going to make some sense to you. And, of a long time, even when we're doing the Feast of Dedication series every year, between myself and Brother Shea and the rest of us who have been sharing with you information about sports and the connections to deities or false gods.
Oh, yeah.
And part of the thing that our king says to stay away from the pagan practices, even with that, we try to educate our people that when you go to a lot of these sports venues, to you it's a lot of fun to see an Israelite play ball or be champions in sports and prove their skills and all. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun and strategy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the competition.
The competition, but we all show that came from the Greeks. All that competition is a Greek and Roman type thing. Now, of course, we had our little thing among Israel, and even being dispersed, we had our little thing here and there. But the Gentiles have capitalized on this thing, and what I have discovered, and I'm sure you suspected too, is when you pay money to go attend a lot of these games and whatnot, I don't know if you really understand that you are financing the Jubu's mission of ruling the world. We are inadvertently on the low, as they say.
Yep.
We are financing the rule of these people, even though they look at us as nothing and the other nations are just goyim, right?
Yep.
And they have all types of names and whatnot, and they have the power to censor and to pull down or to tear up and to take your money, and you know what I'm talking about. We've covered that. We still go out and we still, put our monies in there. And tickets aren't cheap. What's the usual price of a ticket?
Well, it depends.
Average price.
It depends on the seat. If you want nosebleeds, they can start.
Nosebleed.
Yeah.
Elder, you hear that?
They start anywhere.
Nosebleed is so high up.
You're up in the rafters of the arenas.
In the ceiling.
Yep. And you're looking down at the court or the field, and the cheapest one would run you about $80.
The cheapest one is $80.
Yeah, about $80. Yeah,
$80.
Now, if you want courtside seats,
And that has nothing to do with the popcorn,
Yeah,
the
that's
hot
a
dog,
six.
the snacks, the concessions. Have nothing to do with that. I'm sure one popcorn is like $10.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Now that $80 is just regular season, or if the team is not a popular team. But if it's a popular team, maybe $150 for those seats.
Cheap seats.
Cheap seats. Now, if it's down more to the courtside seats or close to the field, you're looking at $1,200, $1,500 for regular games. Now, if it's playoff games or if it's like championship games, you're looking at $3,000-$4,000 a seat. And people pay that.
People pay a lot of money. And then if you get the clubhouse seats,
The box office seats where you have your
room and you got everything in there and you can talk with your friends and whatnot, that's usually a lot more money.
the drinks and all that stuff.
So, brethren, we're going to learn some things tonight. Let's get started into tonight's program. Let's read Ephesians 6 and 12 to remind ourselves what we're dealing with.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places."
Spiritual wickedness in high places, right? Rulers of the darkness of this world. And the world is dealing with all the things that make people interact, societies, what is classified as civilization and whatnot. Yeah, they might have a few obeah men up in the bush, witch doctors up in the bushes or whatever, but they don't rule they don't rule the world or anything like that. They're just running their little village area and that's about it. But these men have the power to transform and influence lives. Now, this is a quote that everybody should be familiar with. What does it say?
Yep. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
So what does the AI have to say about this?
It says power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. In a famous 1887 quote by British historian Lord Acton, it signifies that as a person's power increases, the moral senses decreases.
So as their personal's power increased, their moral sense decreases.
And they lose
the
their
higher you
morality.
go, the morality drops, right? Read on.
Often leading to abuse. This concept warns that unrestricted authority, whether political or religious, inevitably destroys moral integrity and encourages self-interested, tyrannical behavior.
Y'all see that? And I don't think that we need to really point fingers on this because we can see it all around with the politicians. As they set themselves up for power, you can see the behavior gets worse. It's like they don't see people as human beings anymore. They just see them as nothing. A person can get shot and it's, we're sorry about that. Yeah. And then the news switches and it's gone. But that's a life that was important to some family. That was a life that came into the world like anybody else and wanted to live. But for them, it's just a political thing that just happened. So let's see what the meaning is about this.
It says it suggests that the possession of unchecked power makes a person demoralized and likely to act in their own interest.
Their own interest. And so we have governments that do those things, and then the people have to put them in check. Now, we don't like too much of left versus right and right versus left, but that's a system that keeps people in check. Too much right is not good. Too much left is not good. Show me a vehicle that got the two wheels that is, balanced to the left or to the right. And guess what happened? You're going to find yourself wrapped around a tree. The alignment is set to the right or to the left. It must be balanced.
Yep.
That's why Yeshua said to don't turn to the left or to the right.
I want to pull this up real quick just to kind of tie in with unchecked power. Unchecked power is what I'm looking at. This is Judges 17 and verses 7. The book of Judges 17 and 7 says, and there was, let me make sure that's the correct one. Verse 6, sorry. Judges 17 and verse 6 says, in those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Yeah. And so what we find that this Gentile who put this thing out, I wonder if they really reflect on their own words. That when they come into power, the morality shifts. Right? All right, so let's move on. Let's move on. Now, this is interesting, family, and this is going to make you upset. $250 million to fund transgender animal experiments.
Yep. I don't know if they remember when I did the class a couple weeks back, and I was showing you, we're talking about can a man get pregnant? Remember that?
Yes.
This is what they're pushing too. This ties right back into it.
Brethren, when I saw this article, I had to shake my head. Now, you may be thinking, what does this have to do with tonight's broadcast? It has a lot to do with it. You'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We see, we are living in a time, as I said in the monologue, the Antichrist, the beast, the whoever it is that is supposed to make this grand entrance is going to be this Baphomet type spirit is being pushed right now to get this thing out. This is the reason why the time is ripe. Not right, ripe.
Right.
For them to bear fruit and to conceive this wickedness. Newsweek says 10 million was spent on transgender animal testing, watchdog group says. It says, according to the WCW's 2024 study, at least $10 million in taxpayer money was used on studies involving transgender animals. During last week's hearing, which was titled Transgender Lab Rats and Poisoned Puppies, Oversight of Taxpayer-Funded Animal Cruelty, Mace, this is a person who's doing the investigative report, said that the WCW study reported that millions of dollars in federal funds were used to create transgender mice, rats, and monkeys in experiments conducted where? At universities across the country. So you're paying your money to go to school.
Yep, to get your brains
Get screwed up.
scrambled.
And the dollars is being siphoned to the side to experiment and forcing rats, mice, monkeys, and other animals in something that they don't even approve of themselves. They want to be left alone. But these people will gather themselves and have a wicked thought and idea
It's called sorcery.
to mess with Elohim's creation and change the male rat into a female. Well, it's never changed to a female, but they force it to become like that. Let's read on. The Biden-Harris administration was so eager to propagate their radical gender ideology across all facets of American society that they did not pause to consider that such experiments are not only cruel but unnecessary. May said 1.1 million was allocated to research whether female rats receiving testosterone therapy were more likely to overdose on drugs commonly associated with chemsex in the LGBTQ plus community. So does a rat say, hey, give me a shot of drugs? No.
Rats to eat Skittles.
She also said, quote, federal funds were also used to, quote, forcibly transition male monkeys to see if hormone therapy made them more susceptible to HIV.
Yes.
Does that sound like people? Now, universities is an offshoot of what the Catholic Church set up.
That's not the human.
And brethren,
This is why last week I had
yeah,
the
Brother
class.
Joe, you just can't make this stuff up. It's pure wickedness.
This is why I had the class last week when they have no choice, because it's like something just pulling them. The spirit, the demons just stretch them and pull them and make them do this wickedness. That makes no sense. That's why it says that it is unnecessary. Not only cruel, but unnecessary. Like, what is the point to it? But we understand that they have an agenda they have to go to, and this is why they can't help themselves.
This is a good reason to educate our own children design when we are trying to get our homesteads together where we can be debt free, that we set up a room or however your living room or something, collect books because books is going to disappear.
Yep.
Right? Collect books. There's a lot of books, old books from schools. They're throwing those things out. You can get them, and you could educate your children. You have maps. You can teach them about geography, geology. You can teach them basic biology. You know, things that will help them to be better human beings and things of that nature. But this is an example of why our Elohim must destroy this earth, must destroy the wickedness of this earth, because this stuff makes no sense, completely no sense whatsoever. Now, brethren, let's show you some connections here. This is a news report. As you all know, Epstein has been in the news, and there are millions of files that haven't even been released. When I started doing my research, brethren, this guy was connected in a lot of places that you just lift up, just go in the backyard, lift a rock up, and I'm sure under that rock, Epstein is underneath there. Something to do with Epstein is underneath there. That's how connected this guy is. Every country, every rock, under the sea, this guy is everywhere. Check this out. Epstein files reveal designer baby project, genetic experiments, and links to transhumanism. Now, transhumanism is connected to the same transgender thing that we just looked at.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So this is the copy of the email from Brian Bishop, sent to whatever, more genetic editing. All right, from the Department of Crazy Plant Stuff, Fusion and Bull and Human Sperm and so forth and whatnot. And then there's a link to go look at the stuff. And down below it says, proceeding with more mouse testing at my Ukraine lab. Amateur in Mississippi has been testing human sperm modification. Just fluorescent tagging so far doesn't work, whatever. So they try to put it in codes.
Now, I was doing a little back research on this gentleman here who may or may not be unalived. We don't know, right? Matt, well, according to them, they're gentlemen. There's a reason why I say that. But his connection to all of these things is in the finance. They always say follow the money.
That's right.
And he was a finance guru, meaning he know how to stack the money and you get the most out of everything. So a lot of people was going to him. Politicians, scientists, religious leaders, entertainers, you name it, wealthy family members, they were all going to him because he was highly connected in the finance department in knowing where to put your money. And even there was an interview where he was saying even when he was in prison, locked away from all of the stuff, he didn't know what was going on when the markets was crashing. And the story goes all over the place. But he's connected by the money, which is connected back to these universities that fund these crazy, wicked things that we read
It's
about.
evil. It's real evil. Let's move on to our next. This is an article from a sodomite news site. It's called Them. Emails reveal Epstein encouraged controversial scientists to study transgender biology. Quote, Nichols found correspondence between Epstein and biologist Robert Trevors dating back to 2009. Though it's unclear when Epstein and Trevors established a financial relationship, as Brother Shay talked about the money, by 2015, he had emailed Noam Chomsky, however it's pronounced, Chomsky, claiming that he was Trevors' quote, major funder, after the biologist had been thrown out of Rutgers for good this time. That refers to Rutgers University in New Jersey, where Trevors was suspended from teaching in 2015 after refusing to teach a class. Nichols located an email in which Trevors thanked Epstein for, quote, extra money and appointment as an advisor to your foundation. Epstein responded, I want to see you. Blank piece on transgender in the bio world. 2 months later, Trivers responded and said he was getting to the end of transsexuality. In 2019, Epstein once again encouraged Trivers to focus on transgender biology. So we know about all the other controversial things that he was dealing with, and they are focusing on that. But brethren, this guy was involved in a lot of projects that is dealing with the sodomite stuff, funding scientists to push that Baphomet ideology. Now, Brother Sheikh, pull that to the side. Let's get the first must-read over here.
This one here?
Yeah, let's get that, and then we'll get the second one. And then you can close that little thing out.
Yeah.
Mount Sinai today, by the people, for the people. It's politics. Epstein linked to foundations of transgender medicine industry. Y'all see that? Newly released DOJ files, go back up. Okay. Show that convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein funded research tied to key figures in the transgender medicine industry. Encouraged academic work on transgender biology. All right? And circulated the topic among elite institutional networks. The elite. Okay? All right. Scroll down just a little bit. Why does it matter? You want to say something?
I was just going to say this makes more sense now because I don't know if y'all have seen. I think his niece came and was speaking out online right now. They're trying to ban her, but she's speaking out, and she was saying how she got changed from female to male, and then she switched back later. She's really messed up.
Body's torn up.
She's really messed up.
Body's torn up. Why does it matter? Make it a little bit bigger, Brother Shay. Why it matters. That's good. That's good. This case highlights concerns about who financed, shaped, legitimized the rapidly expanding transgender medicine industry, which has overridden informed consent, bypassed parental rights, see that? And subjugated children to irreversible procedures. The documents reveal a convicted sex offender operating at the intersection of surgical infrastructure, research production, and elite network management during the field's greatest expansion. Let's look at the details. The document shows that Epstein had a years-long relationship with Dr. Jess Ting, the founding director of Mount Sinai's transgender surgery program. So wait a minute. Mount Sinai was a place that Elohim spoke to our people. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But yet, they're using the name of Mount Sinai, setting up their wickedness to break Elohim's commandment, where it says it's an abomination. Don't gender kind with other kinds. Don't mix. This is blasphemy. Right? Epstein provided Ting with $50,000 grant for breast cancer research and was solicited by Ting for funding for a documentary about the Mount Sinai program. Epstein also commissioned and financed research into transgender biology from evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers, who publicly defended Epstein's sexual abuse of minors. Now, the guy who helped shape what we call sexology in school, education of sex in school, his name was, what's his name again? I just had it. He was also, you remember his name? Kinsey, thank you. Alfred Kinsey, thank you, Brother Yohanan. Alfred Kinsey, that's his name. Alfred Kinsey was a zoologist, and he was involved in it was documented that he was involved in abuse of minors to find out if children were responsive to sexual impulses and different things of that nature. Was a pervert, a monster. And his research is what created sex education in public schools, family. Look it up. Don't take my word for it, right? So all of these people have a tendency to surround themselves with children. Children. It'll always come up children, 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 over and over. They're wicked. So the documents reveal Epstein actively managing the topic of transgender medicine across his elite network, including pitching it to who? Bill Gates through MIT, and tracking its potential impact where? Wall Street, where the money is going. If you notice, all of these people are tied to Wall Street. All connected. Okay? So, Brother O'Shea, read the rest of that. In March.
And just also a note, this guy was doing a lot of those research on children in India.
In India. Yeah. So that those poor children would not, they don't have a voice. There's no law to really protect them like that.
Molested and
wicked.
Yeah. In March 2013, Ting visited Epstein's private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. By May 2016, Ting informed Epstein that he had been named director of Mount Sinai's new transgender surgery program. In 2016, Trivers thanked Epstein for extra money and said he was redirecting his work entirely toward the theoretical work you have urged upon me on transgender biology. In 2017 and in 2018, Epstein was actively managing how the topic of transgender medicine was positioned within elite science, philanthropy, finance, and government network.
And you know, it's sad to see that the U.S. Virgin Islands is caught up in all this mess. And I'm sure a lot of the politicians knew exactly what was going on the island and gave him a pass.
Oh, yeah.
If you shake that tree, you will see who falls out of it. So let's scroll down. Let's see if there's anything else in there. I think that's about it. So you can close that out. Okay. The point of the matter is, and let's go to the next one, is you can clearly see that this guy is tied to a whole lot of different things, right? A whole lot of different things. And when we come to the sports part, you're going to see how a lot of stuff is really connected.
Okay, this one is
crazy. It's crazy. It's not coming up. It's taking a little minute.
Stop it and refresh it. Let's see.
Okay. Well, you're going to see how a lot of this stuff is really connected. And that's why we have to stay vigilant, prayed up. Yes, Brother Barry, Peter Pan, perverts. These guys were all perverts. All right, let's leave that.
Let me try something else.
Try something else. Okay. Sometimes those links are important, and there it is. Okay, here we go. Daily Caller, News Foundation, exposing the truth one story at a time. Let's read that headline.
Sex change surgeon asks Epstein to fund groundbreaking transgender documentary emails show.
All right, so you see Clinton is right there, right? All right, let's scroll down. Let's see if there's anything else that we want to pull from that. Okay, pretty much the same thing. Go down some more. Let's see. Okay. Read that first part to about here.
From here to here?
To where it says, yep.
Email, okay. That's right. Mount Sinai, being the progressive place that it is, saw an opportunity and needed to take a leadership position in the area of transgender health and created the first full-spectrum academic program in the U.S. focused on transgender surgery and care, reads the email.
So they saw an opportunity. They saw a great opportunity, just like you got people, and this part right here, just like you got people who want to be the first in doing open heart surgery or brain surgery or whatever. They want to specialize in this change from man to woman thing. Let's read that part, and when you get here, just the V.
Yeah. Ting spearheaded Mount Sinai's first transgender-related venoscopy. Okay, the surgery that involves castrating a man and forming a fake V. according to his profile on Mount Sinai's website.
So they specialize in transforming a man into a woman.
Yeah.
The body parts into a woman. Nonsense. Scroll down. See if there's anything else there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So this doctor was really tied into. Okay, let me see. Okay, you can close that out. That's good. That's all we need from that. It's very important for our people to see connections of things so that when we explain certain things to you, you're not offended. You'll understand exactly why I'm saying what I say. Okay, let's move on. So remember this chart. This is just the same thing, but this time we add the piece with the Wall Street Journal on top of it. The chart showing you a basic overview of how some of these things are connected, right? The media, the billionaires, and the religious organizations, and the operators from different aspects, right? Whether it's church or secret societies, right? So the Wall Street Journal puts out this headline piece: Epstein's private calendar reveals prominent names, including CIA chief, Goldman's top lawyer. So when we see this thing here, prominent names. In today's news, King Charlie is talking about stripping his brother completely from
The royal.
stripping from the royal record. That he's no longer anything, just a commoner. Prince Charlie was probably involved in that too. Who knows?
The list is long.
Okay, because remember his wife lost her life in some accident that they talked about was an accident, but a lot of people says nope, it was some revenge. Okay, there's a lot of wickedness and competition that happens in high places. So when we see a CIA chief involved in these things, brethren, this stuff is deeper than we even know. Because you're looking one way, not seeing how everything is connected, but they're all connected.
Yep.
They're all connected. Does everybody understand this? Let's move on, Brother Shea. All right, the global playbook, how athletes are used to sway political voters. We'll come back to Epstein. Let's read.
Athletes set the tone in stadiums, not parliaments. However, in the era of political dependence on the intersection of technology and media, athletes have become unlikely but potent allies in politics.
So now the athletes are being used as tools when it comes to world affairs. Y'all see that?
Yep. Like one of the famous commentators now, Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if y'all remember him. He's talking about running for president now.
Yes, I saw that.
Because he's getting into politics.
So this is talking about global playbook, right? Play is dealing with games, but this is global playbook, right? So now these the sports world is being exposed as being intertwined with everything else. So your politics, your sports, when you go to play games and you finance that thing, brethren, you're going to find out. Go ahead and read.
Once national icons, sports figures across the globe are now being redrafted into entirely new uniforms, those of political activists, cultural symbols, and even ideological advocates.
Next piece.
Athletes no longer merely represent teams, they represent messages.
Message is what? Propaganda.
It's true.
Messages. Read.
Governments, parties, and politicians across the globe are seizing the cultural capital that sports icons possess to court voters, bolster their credibility, and cast a veil over blatantly authoritarian practices under the banner of national unity.
Remember watching the movie Gladiator, right? and stuff like that, where once the guy wins the people in the arena, and the politician don't like that dude, and he wants to go like a thumbs down to destroy, and he's like, no, I'm not going to follow what you want to kill this guy.
Yep.
This guy's just like me.
Yeah.
He's fighting for his life because you forced him into that position, and I'm going to take his life. He's a good guy. He was my friend or whatever. And when the people, when the guy do this, and the people says no, you know what I mean? And the guy throw the sword down, and the people, yeah. The politicians are looking at the people. Oh shoot, we messed up. The people love this guy. We have a problem.
Yep.
So now when they figure out that the sports, the arena, the sports
There's a way.
sportsman, sportswoman, okay, can sway public opinion, they use them to their advantage.
Yeah.
And this is a playbook from ancient Rome family.
Yep.
And we're seeing the same thing today. And you know what? When this type of behavior is happening, it shows the fall and demise of a country, a nation. Because when they start giving you games and bread, look it up, bread and games. It's a distraction from the poison, the corruption. Edward Gibbons talked about that too. Edward Gibbons, he had like a thick book about the history, the rise and fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
I peeped through that thing. I got lost. There's just so much stuff in that thing.
It's a lot of information there. I wanted to read First Maccabees 1:11, just a couple of verses to kind of tie into this right here, how the athletes and the politics merge together for various reasons. In this case, for their messages, like you mentioned here. Political gain. It says, verse 11, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we are departed from them, we have much sorrow. And we see that with the athletes today and the entertainers. They get into these contracts. One minute these people are in bad neighborhoods, single parent homes, and the next minute they're billionaires within 5 years.
And when I was doing the research, I realized, and pull up Colossians 2 verses 8.
Okay.
After you're done, I realized that there's a lot of groups that no one ever heard about, and all of a sudden they're like on the top doing big work, making a lot of money. And brethren, for anyone who starts up a company from nowhere, you don't just go from scratching the ground to a billionaire company overnight or within a month or two. It takes years to get to that point.
Yep.
So there are a lot of people behind the scenes that are pushing these things for a reason. All right?
Let's jump down to verse 13 and 14. It says, then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
Now let's pause for a moment, right? If Israelites practice sports, there would be no need to build a gymnasium in Israel. The mere fact that they had to build one of those things lets us know that we didn't have those things.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
All of this stuff, this body worship and flexing and all kinds of stuff, and grease down and rub my back for me and stuff like that. Man, that's for your bedroom.
Let's go to Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
And so Shaul, being exposed to the Roman world, Greco-Roman world, is warning us. What did he say?
It says, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy. That's the first thing, because that's what Greeks did a lot of.
The propaganda.
And vain deceit, after the tradition of men.
Like we just read with the book of Maccabees.
After the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach.
Can you imagine the Messiah saying, Peter, let's go and we're gonna do a few laps around so and so and get ready. We're gonna
competing up.
That's a false Christ, false Messiah. Jesus in the gym.
Jesus says, "Let me test my skills."
Jesus in the gym. What do you say, Elder? No, you wouldn't follow that Messiah? In the volume of the book is written of him. David was bench pressing 500.
Easy.
Jesus came and bench pressed 2, right? Let's move on to our next. It's crazy. This is nonsense. The circle of deviancy. So, Epstein is not over. His ghost is haunting, if he's even dead, right?
Well,
Maybe he's not dead.
let me say this real
They
quick.
broke him out of jail.
Let me say this real quick. See, we can't say yay or nay because of this one fact. This is a fact. The man is in solitary confinement, right? The room is no bigger than, I think they say it was like 6 feet by something, like 6 by 8 or something like that. There's a bed, there's a toilet and a sink that's against the wall. And there's a camera that sits there 24/7 right on the rooms. You can see him 24/7, everything. But for some reason, 1 minute is missing, and the minute the camera comes back on, he's hung.
Well, you know, special forces have to train for that 60 second. Actually, they probably train for 50-second break in and break out real quick.
Well, they won't even use a special force. These are all the agencies, alphabet agencies that do these kind of works behind the scenes. They topple governments down. They arrange the chessboard. They do a lot of things behind the scenes. So when they tell you that something is something, just shake your head and say, okay, and then just keep it moving.
It's crazy.
You can't believe, never trust your enemy.
So CNN World has this piece. It says, Steve Bannon courted Epstein in efforts to take down Pope Francis. Remember El Papa, who just kicked the bucket? Mm-hmm. Right? Now we have an American Pope.
Yep.
So Steve Bannon, who was Trump's, well, let's read.
Steve Bannon, a former White House advisor to U.S. President Agent 47, discussed opposition strategies with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein against Pope Francis.
Jeffy E. Go ahead.
With Bannon saying he hoped to take down the pontiff.
Imagine that. That's a bold statement. Them Jesuits would be like loose to deal with Bannon. But go ahead.
According to newly released files from the U.S. Department of Justice. You remember that movie, Angels and Demons and stuff with Tom Hanks? And they had a scene where the guy who used to beat himself.
Yes, Opus Dei.
Yeah, and then he was like, I thought I was doing your work for you. This is, nope. And then they show the other scene where they was trying to clean up the mess. This is kind of the same thing that's going on right here. Rome and the Vatican have been important for Bannon.
Let's find out.
He set up a Rome bureau when he ran Breitbart News and has been involved in trying to establish a political training gladiator school to defend Judeo-Christian values not far from the Eternal City.
Whenever you see the word Judeo-Christian coming from this report, from Breitbart and people like the Agent 47s and Turning Point and so forth, whenever you see Judeo-Christian, it equals Christian Zionism.
Yep.
Flip it around. Christian Zionism. That word Judeo is replace it with Zionism.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. So he was trying to take down El Papa. Okay? So what I'm trying to show you all, this is a spiritual clash. Who's going to be, it's like you have a competition among who wants to be the chosen son of the devil. You know what I mean? The Vatican is fighting for number one, and these Illuminists are fighting to become number one. And they are, it's like Satan has told them, to give them something, say, well, let's see who's going to win get the award or receive the, you know, when you're trying to put a bid in.
Yeah.
For a job or something?
Yep. And then you see who to the highest bidder.
That's right. You have something you want to bring?
Well, I was just kind of, it just kind of clicked a little bit, and you just have to connect the dots. And I'm just looking at one point, this man, even though he was in his 80s, he was fairly healthy, and because he has the best health care, best doctors on call, everything, and out of the blue, he got sick real quick.
You know what's funny though? He came in to replace Ratzinger.
Yes.
And Ratzinger, there have been no reports about Ratzinger ever since. He's still alive. Remember that. He probably said, shoot, I don't want Satan, I'm done. Find somebody else. Maybe Ratzinger is still, I don't know. But there've never been no two popes. That guy is still alive after the rule of Francis. And now there's another pope and Ratzinger is still alive. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue on.
In his messages with Bannon refers, sorry, let me say it again. In his messages with Epstein, Bannon references, quote, In the Closet of the Vatican, a 2019 book by French journalist Frédéric Martel that lifted a lid on secrecy and hypocrisy at high levels of the church. Mm-hmm. Martel created a storm with his book by claiming 80% of the clergy working in the Vatican are gay, while exploring how they keep their sexuality secret. Mm-hmm. Elsewhere in the files, Epstein jokes with his brother Mark about inviting Pope Francis to his residence for a massage during the U.S. papal visit in 2015.
These are a bunch of sodomites. That's sodomite talk. Mm-hmm. So there's Christian Zionists. As we look into a lot of the things that's going on behind the scenes, you realize that a lot of them are sodomites. A lot of them are dealing with molesting of little ones and so forth.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot of the so-called YouTube influencers. When you look into their background, a lot of them are Catholic. And they have been voicing their opposition against the Christian Zionists. This is a war between the Catholic Church fighting against the Israelis, the Zionists.
Mm-hmm. Like Miss Owens.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Trust me. Go look at a lot of these people and you'll see a lot of their videos. When there's an ad, they show you this Christian app. What's it called again? Hallel or something.
Something like that. I know
some name. It's always coming up. Okay? And all of a sudden the guy who acted as in the Marvel show, what's his name? With the little raccoon dude, little raccoon thing.
Yeah, you talking about the white guy or
yeah,
the main character?
The main character with the raccoon.
Yeah.
And the tree and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt is now coming out pushing the same Catholic app. Him and a bunch of other people. Brethren, this is a war between who is going to wear the crown when the devil shows up on the scene. That's exactly what it is. So the Catholic Church is trying to push themselves as being clean while they have a whole history of the same type of foolishness with children and you name it. Okay? They're all in the same league. Let's move on, Brother Shay. So you can see a little bit of connection here. It's going to get worse. Lords of sportsmanship. Let's take a look at these shoes right here. Sneakers. You see that?
That's some nice kicks. Who want to appear in the chat?
Lords of sportsmanship. And sportsmanship is not just about playing Hollow App. Yep, Hollow App is the name of the app. Thank you so much. Hollow App. What was I going to say?
The shoes, sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship is not just about playing a game. It's about strategy. The world is a game. The world is a playing field. There's a lot of players on the thing, and teams are fighting against other teams. Like the Vatican is one team, The Zionists is another team, and they're all fighting for dominance. Who's going to win the championship, right? And get the crown. All right, let's move on. So it's the cross versus the star. Let's see what this once president of Israel said.
This former president of Israel, Shimon Peres, once said, quote, "In Israel, a land lacking in natural resources, we learn to appreciate our greatness, our greatest national advantage, which is our minds.
Our minds, read.
Through creativity and innovation, we transformed barren deserts into flourishing fields and pioneered new frontiers in science and technology."
So he admitting they can't grow anything there, really, but they have to use science and technology to force things into being. Is that what the Bible said?
Nope. Far from that.
So he's admitting that they are specialists in technology and also manipulation.
Yes.
Science. Let's move on. Jews and sports. While Judaism isn't famous for grooming star athletes, there's a rich history nonetheless. Let's read.
It says, outside America, Zionism played a central role in merging sports with Judaism.
Y'all see that? Zionism is a political organization,
Yeah.
ideology, okay? Like Republicans and Democrats, Zionism, okay? Socialism, okay? So they're saying, and this is from my Jewish Learning website, they're admitting that Zionism is a very important part in what? Sports.
Yep.
Go ahead and read.
At the Zionist Congress in 1898, Theodore Herzl's right-hand man, the popular writer Max Nordau, expressed the Zionist longing for the creation of a muscle Jewry.
Muscle Jewry. Go ahead.
Subsequently, Jews across Europe established sporting clubs which served a double function, strengthening European Jews' collective identity as a minority while offering a means of integrating into mainstream society.
So it's a tool. Sports was utilized as a tool so that they can be able to move into mainstream society and make a lot of money. Let's move on.
It said in the chat, Air Judans.
Air Judans. I like
Air
that.
Jordans.
Hey, Brother Miles, you came up with that? Air Judans. Oh, Brother Gerald came up with that. Okay. Air Judans. Air Maccabees high top. Hey, y'all can market some stuff now. But guess what? They're going to snatch it up from you and throw you in jail.
Yep.
All right, propaganda puppets. Now, on the left-hand side, everybody knows Kyrie Irving, right?
Yep.
What he had to go through for speaking out against a lot of the, speaking out that he's an Israelite and so forth. And they've been coming at him. They still coming at him.
Charge him
every
money.
time. Do you got anything on him in the video?
I think I have something on him, but just at the All-Star game that just happened early this week, he wore a shirt that represented the press that got killed.
Yes.
In
Palestine.
In Palestine.
Yeah, among the Gazans. Now, he's not a propaganda puppet. They wanted him to be a propaganda puppet. But he bowed out of that stuff, and now he's a target.
Let me see
Now,
something.
read this piece for me, please. Just the thing here.
He tried to kill me for real. Before Diddy's scandal, LeBron James was accused of trafficking after a WNBA player went missing for 2 years. LeBron James faced shocking allegations in a trafficking scandal after a WNBA player blamed him for reportedly going missing for 2 years.
I'm gonna send this to you.
Let's see.
And you can pull it up. Let's see here. This is a link to that article. And so when you get it, just pull it up, okay? It's a link to that particular article. Now, everybody remember the Diddy, the Diddler, that they call him, right? And the diddler was also tied with the Epsteins, and he was doing pretty much a lot of the similar stuff. He had his own, he had the black version. He tried to be the black Epstein. And you know how that works already. Snatch his behind up, throw him into prison, and he's still, I'm sure he still got his operation going. But our people always try to emulate the gangsters, but you cannot outdo the OGs of criminal activity.
This one down here, which one it is? Because
I think that's the one right here. This one right there. So this is the article right there, Phantom Wire. And there's some accusations about LeBron James faced. Can't get past that. Well, I'll tell you what. Just leave that. We don't have to go into that. Let's just leave that to the side. That can be a problem. I can put the link in the chat.
Well, this one pulled up, but it just didn't show the pictures and stuff. It just had.
Okay. Where did it go? This disappeared.
Hold on, let me pull this down. Here it is, right here. Bring it over here.
Well, let's look at the information if there's any information on it.
Okay.
Scroll down. Come on. Okay, so with ongoing scandals surrounding Diddy, high-profile figures from various avenues who have been close to the disgraced rapper are now under public scrutiny, with many speculating who might have been aware of his alleged crimes over the years. And then it says LeBron James, right, a known friend of Diddy, has openly expressed his love for a rapper's party. And y'all remember the parties? There's no party like a Diddy party or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that. Okay. And James previously faced serious accusations, including allegations of trafficking made by former WNBA player Cappie Pondexter. Okay. It's a female who played for the women's sports basketball team. All right. Scroll down. In July 2021, the former WNBA women basketball team, Cappie, took to Instagram Live to make some shocking allegations against LeBron James, accusing him of trafficking her and stealing all of her money.
And you know what's funny? You never hear about this.
Mm-hmm.
They put that under the carpet real quick.
In a live stream, which quickly spread across social media, Pondexter claimed to have been missing for 2 years. Quote, "I ain't confused," she said in a live stream before alleging he tried to kill me for real. She also claimed in the video, "I've been missing for almost like 2 years." Further, in her live stream, she went on to accuse the Lakers star as a trafficker, claiming that he had emptied her bank accounts. Scroll down. While Pondexter made several serious allegations against the sports star, no substantial evidence supported her claim. It was later revealed that Pondexter had faced several personal struggles, including battery charges, and being reported missing nearly a year before her live stream. Reports also indicate that she had been experiencing mental health issues.
That's what they like to say quick.
What's his name? Kanye.
Mental.
Britney Spears.
Wendy Williams.
A whole lot of people
list of them
have all of a sudden got mental issues, right? Just go down the list and you'll see. Scroll down. Let's skip that. So she was in the top, okay? 7-time All-Star, 3-time All-Star, first-time selection. I mean, she is...
Have all the accolades.
Her brain was always working. The point is that her brain, she scored big. Her brain was always functioning. There was never any problem at all. All of a sudden, her brain is not working. Okay? In one confusing Instagram post, she referred to LeBron James as her husband and mentioned celebrities like Chris Brown and Rihanna, describing them as part of a complex relationship. So there's a lot of strange things happening here, right? In a different post, she suggested that she shares a daughter with Beyonce, whom she also refers to as her wife, in a different live stream. Okay? So you can close that out. So a lot of the same funny business that you find with the Epstein files is connected with this same guy and many other things also. Why is that? When you start to shake this tree, you're going to find so many strange connections. We don't want to think that.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on, Brother Shay.
Okay.
You're going to see a lot of interesting things here. The Jerusalem Post put out a piece, NBA coming to Israel for basketball without borders. So, in brief, without going into all the detail, I think I got a PDF of that. I'm not sure. You can open it up and see. So, the Israelis have programs set up where they invite sports people, right? Whether you're a player or a coach or whatever it is. Oh, you got it pulled up over here. For some reason, it pulled up. To come over to Israel. Usually the same thing with the pastors. Remember we talked about the pastors coming over to Israel?
Okay.
And we talked about police officers coming to Israel. They got training. They go through programs. It's the same thing over and over. Now you got the sports part.
The same thing happened. Okay, so, all right, let's pull up this one.
You got the sports people who have been coming over to Israel, and now when they go back to their countries, all of a sudden their mindset has been conditioned to, speak highly. Yeah, that's it right there. To speak highly of the Jubus, the government of the Jubus, right? Yep, that's it. I think I might have a few things highlighted. I'm not even sure, but just scroll down. So, like right here, it says Europe will bring together the top male and female players born in 2000 from across Europe to learn directly from NBA and FIBA players, legends, and coaches, and to compete against the best young players from the continent.
And that's why you see today the sports is starting to merge with a lot of European players now versus players from the, because it's an American sport, right? As far as the competition goes, the
Right.
teams and everything within the league, American League. But you have international players coming in now.
Well,
and
the
changing
whole
whole landscape.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is, to us, it looks like, sportsmanship. We're gonna see how our team does against your team, and we can learn from you, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's used as a vessel, a vehicle, to bring the Zionist agenda out to the world.
Yeah.
Does everybody understand this?
Yeah.
So it's a partnership. It's talking about coming to Tel Aviv for a partnership.
I'll play this one.
You want to play that?
Yeah.
All right, you can pull that up. You can close that out, and you can play your video. Fair use for this upcoming video.
Fair use, fair use. We're just gonna scroll through it a little bit.
So, Israel. That one country in the Middle East full of white people who compete in European game shows for some reason. Yeah, you've probably heard of this country. They're huge fans of the American government, just always getting involved.
May God bless Israel, may God bless America, and may God bless the great alliance between Israel and America forever.
But just when you thought they couldn't possibly take any more of your tax dollars to bomb children in the Middle East, they start getting involved in the great American, North Korean, and Cuban pastime, basketball. Have you ever heard the name Deni Avdia? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, he just got selected into the NBA All-Star Game. Basically just a big popularity contest, but no one's even heard of the guy. Today's broadcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Consider joining our Patreon to support independent media. Thank you.
I feel like people look up to me. I want to do, I want to represent my country. I want to be all-star. I have dreams of myself, I know that my country's behind me and they look at every step I make.
Now, Deni Avdia was born and raised in Israel, where every citizen has to serve in the Israeli Defense Force. But do they? There's actually a lot of ways to get out of the service, So when people play the mandatory service card, they're kinda lying. So Deni Avdija was already playing in the NBA at the time of his service. So he was granted a special position as a, quote, outstanding athlete, where he took this photo, which I think was the singular duty of his service in the IDF. So he served a non-combat
uniform, huh? That's a real clean uniform.
Staged, yeah.
role in the IDF. So what? Well,
go back a
these
second?
are his comments regarding criticisms over his time,
Go back a second. That uniform just came out
where
the
he
package.
took this photo.
See, stop. It just came out the package. You see all the folds?
Yep. Just for photo op.
Go ahead and play it.
Which I think was the singular duty of his service in the IDF. So he served a non-combat role in the IDF. So what? Well, these are his comments regarding criticisms over his ties to the IDF. You don't have to love what I stand for or how I look, but if I'm a good player, give props. All this hate for no reason, like I'm deciding things in the world. I'll be honest, what do people expect me to do? This is my country, where I was born, where I grew up. I love my country.
There are this part here. Hold on. Let me see what I want to get to. Let's get to this part.
Yeah, because everywhere, because you.
Right after this.
And you know they always got to get a Hebrew to get to kind of give them a boost, right?
Can't I just be a good basketball player? First of all, no one knows who this guy is. We've already made that clear. Second of all, he keeps saying he's just from there. So obviously he stands with his country. I too stand with my country, but as a means to make it better. I can call out my country's shit. That's a simple principle this entire channel is based on. But here's this guy, Deni Avdija, someone who seemingly doesn't even know the word Palestine. I mean, I've literally never heard him say it. Drop a dislike on this video for the amount of time.
Fast forward to this part.
Danny, every time you step onto the court, our country beams with pride. For the people of Israel, you aren't just any star, you are our Star of David.
Just let that sink in. So there's this dude in the NBA. No one's heard of him. He plays in a tiny town called Portland on the side of a desert, and he makes the All-Star game. And the genocidal prime minister is calling him the country's Star of David. This timeline is so boring, bro. This plot sucks. Now, I'm not gonna come on here and make some sort of massive claim that anything nefarious is going on here, because this could have honestly been done completely by the books. But that doesn't mean it's not weird. Something's a little fishy. So the way the NBA All-Star Game roster is selected is through a voting system, with fans, media, and players all having a say, just not an equal one. Media and players both make up 25% of the vote each, with fans taking the remaining 50%, giving them a pretty wild advantage in the voting process. But even more so, in the event of a tie, the fan vote wins. And according to this year's results, Deni Avdija was ranked 5th place in the Western Conference in fan voting. An incredibly loaded conference, with every star player you've ever heard of. He's ranked above Kevin Durant, James Harden, LeBron James. He got more votes than LeBron James. I mean, how is that even possible? Well, first off, the voting process kinda sucks. The way it works...
That's all we needed. Just wanted to show
All right,
that.
so basically it's rigged.
Yeah, let me go right here real quick now.
It's rigged.
Yeah, this is the part where I was rigged now.
Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. But is it really? Because within the IDF, they have what is called the Digital Media Unit, which is basically the
This is what we was talking about earlier in the previous slides.
social media team for the IDF and the State of Israel, doing exactly that. Hasbara straight from the source. Now, this is nothing surprising. Every government has a media department, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. Israel's version of the NSA is constantly scouring social media and flagging individuals, and it's almost entirely made up of teenagers making these decisions. And the cartoonish depiction of a room full of IDF kids I mentioned earlier, it's actually completely real. These Hasbara war rooms were set up by various universities during heightened periods of warfare, with the express purpose of targeting anti-Israel speech and promoting pro-Israel speech online. There was also a digital forum for this exact purpose.
This is what I wanted to show. So they have these apps like they talked about. And in the sports now, they're pushing this now more.
It was used by IDF soldiers, government officials, mothers, and teenagers alike to report individuals, plan harassment campaigns, and teach each other how to argue in support of Israel's genocide of Palestinians.
Hi everyone, I'm Maya, and I'm here to welcome you to ACT-IL, the first pro-Israeli grassroots online movement. There are many groups that try to delegitimize Israel online. And now, you will have the tools to counter their efforts right in the palm of your hand. We're going to show you how, by using the ACT-IL app, anyone can become an activist for Israel, anywhere, at any time.
And it kind of goes without saying, but just a couple days ago.
You see this right here?
That's right.
Yep.
Netanyahu allies using armies of bots to influence social media discourse report. Yeah, it's military propaganda.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to show on that.
Okay. So you can see clearly that, and we're going to touch more on this stuff, but what they do is that they set up this venue where the athletes come to, under this guise of, fair game and playing and stuff like that, sportsmanship. When they get to Israel, in many cases, there have been reports of people's rooms being bugged, followed. They receive a package. They're being schooled, groomed, whatever, and then now they become a vessel and advocate on behalf of Zionism, right?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Now, this is an article by Jacobin, February 18, 2024, but it's interesting. The progressive NBA still loves Israel. So it exposes how the NBA has ties with the government, right, and how it's set up. Let's read, Brother Shea.
In November 2023, news came that Mark Cuban, the owner of, he was the former at the time, the owner of Dallas Mavericks, was selling his majority share of the team to the Adelsons. Adelsons, one of Las Vegas' most powerful casino and real estate families.
Real estate, read.
1 month later, at the end of December, the NBA announced that it had approved the deal for $3.5 billion.
That's a lot of money. Okay, so when these guys are making deals, it's not just a deal about like a business. It's actually a political move. Okay,
Yeah.
These things, all of these things, have to do with world affairs. It's not just about you watching this team and so forth and such like. It's about our lives. The way our lives is going to be controlled. Go ahead and read some reports.
Some reports mention that the Adelsons, the company, is led by Miriam Adelson, whose husband, Sheldon, founded the company and died in 2021, are major Republican donors, especially to former President Donald Trump.
And everybody should remember when she offered Trump a third term.
Yep.
$250 million right now. I'll sign a check right now to get you. And he was like, oh. Her husband, Trump mentioned, Sheldon, whatever his name is, right? Would always come. He would call Trump up in the middle of the night. I'm coming over, right? And he would just show right up at the. So he paid to have access to Trump 24/7, basically. Yeah. Let's move on to the next piece and continue reading.
If you added that Miriam Adelson is the publisher of Israel
Hayom, the day.
A right-wing free daily newspaper distributed in Israel, and is a close supporter of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
So she's a supporter of Benjamin Netanyahu. She owns the team. She has a newspaper. Right? You see where the money's going?
Oh, yes. Big billions.
Right? Okay. Go ahead.
Friend of Bibi. Others added that she is the main funder of the Israeli-American Council. This pro-Zionist organization claims to represent the interests of Israeli immigrants in the United States.
So you don't hear about the deportations of Israeli immigrants.
Nope.
You hear of Mexican.
Everybody else.
El Salvador, Haiti, Guatemala. You know what I mean? You hear of everybody else except these other people, right? It doesn't happen, right? ICE doesn't knock on their doors. Let's go ahead and read.
It's key campaign.
Campaign.
Sorry, it's key campaign campaigns, include pushing for anti-boycott, divestments and sanctions, BDS, state laws, and forcing government contractors to refrain from boycotting Israel.
So if you're working for the government, but you oppose what the Israeli government is doing, you're in trouble. Because what she does is she pours money into certain groups to make sure that basically she's paying for duct tape. Political duct tape to tape off the mouths of people, opponents, anyone speaking out against Israel. And guess what? She's tied to the sports. Okay, let's read on. Many
current and former players, including legends like Rick Barry and David Robinson, and NBA officials, chief among them Commissioner Adam Silver, have made regular trips to Israel.
So all these people have to show up and kiss the wall. Put on the hat and kiss the wall, and pledge allegiance to the blue star of Jerusalem. Right? If you don't do that, you're in trouble. Right? You are in big trouble. Let's move on.
There, they meet with government officials.
They met with government officials. Go ahead.
Ran basketball clinics.
That's the cover. The basketball clinics is a cover. Go ahead.
In the occupied territories.
Imagine that they're running these things where? On the other side that they're not supposed to be. They got the clinic set up on the other side. Where the Palestinians, the Gazans and so forth, West Bank or whatever. Go ahead and read.
And met with soldiers and police.
So these... Go back to the previous slide. These commissioners and ball players,
former and current,
and all of these people, move forward, is meeting to play games, right? And they're meeting with who? The soldiers, the murderers, the killers, and the police. Y'all see that?
Yep.
So when you're paying your money to go watch, I'm going to go watch a game, Spurs playing against so-and-so, that's my boy right there. You know, I get the stats and all that nonsense. The people who are running these operations meet with the soldiers that are killing who? The little innocent ones.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all see the connections? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and read.
On their return, they usually gush about Israel.
See, they come back, they're brainwashed. Oh, Israel is great. Yeah, because... The honey trap or whoever it is that meets you in a hotel room and massage your loins.
That's right.
And pull your toes and give you the promises of grandeur and successes.
Yep, sign here, blackmail.
You come back, it's like, oh man, it's a wonderful thing. Go ahead and read.
Officially, none of them make any mention of Palestinian suffering or the occupied territories.
See, nobody sees the smoke on the other side. Nobody hears the cries on the other side. When they show up, it says, come to the room. They stuff Zion cotton balls in their ears, stuff their ears that they can't hear, and blinders that they can't see what's going on over there. The cry of the innocents. Go ahead and read. Officially,
the NBA maintains a pro-Israel line. 2 days after October 7th, the NBA and the league's Players Association released a statement. Quote, the NBA and NBPA mourn the horrific loss of life in Israel and condemn these acts of terrorism. See, but they won't mention anything about Palestine.
Never.
We stand with the people of Israel and pray for peace for the entire region.
And peace means push everyone else that is in opposite of the Zionist agenda into the sea.
Yep.
Push them into the desert somewhere. Move them away. Right? Go ahead and read.
It offered no condemnation of Israel's disproportionate military response in Gaza or expression of solidarity or sympathy with Palestinians.
And no type of sympathy or empathy towards the people over there. I mean, what about the Palestinian Christians?
Somebody gonna pay a good price.
I mean, the Palestinian Christians keep all the different churches intact, keep it clean, Orthodox this and that. But what about those people? Let's move on. The former
six-time All-Star Amir Stoudemire is the most prominent of the NBA's Israel supporters. Stoudemire started at the Suns and the Knicks between 2002 and 2015, as his career wound down. He signed with and later bought a stake in the Israeli team.
So now, once he makes an investment, he has to protect his money, right? He's not going to speak out. Go ahead and read.
He also became a fervent supporter of the Israeli government and took up citizenship in 2017.
So why is the baller dealing with the shot callers? Why are these guys intertwined with each other? I mean, if you're dealing with basketball, focus on basketball, right? Why would you want to be intermingle, tied into a government? Because governments will when a government turn around and reveal the true nature, Netanyahu pulls off his face mask and you see Satan there looking at you. What are you going to say then?
Can't say nothing.
When you find out that the whole file thing, the whole Epstein file thing, that all these people are connected, what do you say then? What do you have to say? Can't say anything. You're embarrassed.
Let me pull up the scripture or this text. This is Matthew, the book of Matthew.
And when you've done that, pull up Psalms 1 and 1.
Okay, this is the book of Matthew 16 and verse 26. Matthew 16 and verse 26. You said Satan is going to be looking at them, right? It says, "For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world, and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?"
And a lot of these people have made sacrifices, right, for just a little bit of fame, a little bit of fortune in this world, this present world. Psalms 1 and verses 1, what does it say?
It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful."
If Stoudemire and some of these other guys will walk through certain neighborhoods in Israel, take off just disguise themselves a little bit, they'll be spat upon. Okay? Because when these people get together, they have a lot of talk about our people, right? And the involvement, a lot of their forefathers were involved in the capture and the profiteering in slavery.
Right.
Okay? All right, let's read on some more.
Okay, Stoudemire filmed countless promotional videos, including for the NBA, extolling the virtues of Israel.
Propaganda videos.
He never, however, spoke about the plight of Palestinians. And he just got inducted into some Hall of Fame over there too.
Of course, because that's for his faithfulness to them. Being a lapdog, being somebody's pet, there's always that kibbles and bits, or what do you call it? The treat.
Yeah, the little treats.
They get in pay for keeping quiet.
That's exactly what it is, Elder.
Get the scraps. Unlike Stoudemire, Draymond Green, another multiple All-Star, still plays for the league as a member of the Golden State Warriors. In 2018, Green visited Israel on a trip organized by a non-profit group, Friends of the Israel Defense Force.
Imagine
IDF.
that. Imagine that. You join up with the Friends of the Israel Defense Forces. It's crazy.
The group wants to secure Israel as a thriving homeland for Jews worldwide. Green met with the then president of Israel, Reuven Rivlin, and gifted him a signed Warriors jersey. Even more, Green visited a counter-terrorism unit, shot hoops with soldiers, and went to a sniper unit.
What do you think the sniper units do?
Hide and kill people.
Go ahead.
Where he posed in army greens and flat on his stomach while holding a gun in a shooting position. No, I just trying to make it make sense. Later, he took part in target practice with an Israeli police unit.
What do you think the Israeli police unit is training for? Go ahead and read.
Some of the units he visited are notorious in Israel for killing Palestinians merely for protesting the occupation.
And we have played video where they got cameras left and right, up and down on top of people's homes. They have drones watching you and they're threatening you. we're gonna just blow you up. We're gonna do this to you and all kinds of stuff. Following people, and then if you have your little sheep herding business out in the desert somewhere, these people will show up and start harassing you and beating you, and they hurt an old woman for no reason whatsoever. For what? Tear up people's vineyards and all kinds of stuff, and move into people's homes and say, well, somebody got to do it. It's our land. Okay. Let's move on to our next. Now let's look at some interesting connections here. Let's read that.
Jeffrey Epstein had numerous connections to the sports world.
Read it one more time.
Jeffrey Epstein had numerous connections to the sports world, including correspondence with high-profile figures in Formula One.
Formula One is the car racing. Go ahead.
NASCAR, the NFL, National Football League, and other sports. Many of these connections were revealed in recently released documents showing interactions with team owners and executives, although being named does not imply wrongdoing.
So even though the names are there, the people are saying, well, there's no wrongdoing, but at least what it's doing is showing you the connections. They're showing you where the money is flowing, who he's dealing with, who he's having conversations with, who's making the investments, who comes on to to get the massages and where every single thing. It's and they're covering things. They're redacting the files. They're hiding magic markers are there. The government should just invest in a lot of magic markers.
Because
just redact everything, right?
Just cover it up.
And if that's good for the government. If you are in school and your schoolwork is not so good, just take a black magic marker and says, teacher, I don't want you to see this. Black it out. And be approved in your classroom, right? Now, can you pull us to the side and pull that up? So, in research, I found something interesting, right? Because in sports, they have a tendency to butt slap.
We talked about that, yep.
Yeah. Right? All right, let's scroll down. This is the medium. Remember this? They're all hitting men, grown men hitting other men on the buttocks, right? Let's scroll down. I always got to bring some stupid ads up. All right. Let's read the practice.
Okay.
But go up a little bit. Let's read the one before that. At first blush.
Okay, so start from here.
You know what? Start from the top. Okay. Let's read the top. Let's read.
It says, opening day, fresh cut grass, vendors hawking peanuts and beer.
Peanuts, get your peanuts, hot peanuts.
And grown men slapping each other on the buttocks.
A22. Go ahead.
At first blush, it seems strange that the hetero bros of the MLB congratulate each with a loving but totally not gay.
Notice what it says. It didn't say but not gay. It says but totally not. So what does that mean?
It has some form.
It has gay roots in it.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and read.
Pat on the butt. But such as life in the wonderful world of baseball.
Such is life, huh?
Yeah.
Such is life.
The practice is so ingrained in the sport and in sports in general that most players participate in it unwittingly. They give you and receive.
Highlight it so people can see what you're reading.
They give you and receive butt pats without any acknowledgement of the underlying implications. One day you're in Little League helping your teammates pierce his capricon with a straw.
Pierce it,
Yeah.
digging it with something, making an entry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A Herculean tasks in itself. And the next, you're slapping each other on the tush.
You see that? No, there'll be a big fight. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody coming behind me and doing that.
Good job, Rebby.
Boy.
Ain't that nigga doing the sports to you?
If you want to see somebody being flung over the bleachers, Anyway, let's read on. Celebratory.
Start flipping tables. Celebratory's butt pattern falls into a larger category of straight bro behavior, formerly known as sociality.
Sociality. Okay, I tell you what. Click on that right there. You don't have to read the rest of it. Just click on that. Click on that. Let's see the background, right? Okay.
Homosociality.
Make it a little bit bigger. And let's see the headline. It says, because you want to be able to see the thing. Come on, Brother Shay. Homosociality in between power and intimacy. It's a power move.
Yes.
The concept of homosociality describes and defines social bonds between persons of the same sex. It is, for example, frequently used in studies on men and masculinities. They're defined as a mechanism of and social dynamic that explains the maintenance of hegemonic masculinity. Let me see if I can get to that part. When you go down, it ties right into the sodomite stuff. Right, keep going down. Okay, probably gonna have to dig for this and come back to it, but it's in there. It's in there dealing with this the sodomite stuff. But keep going. Yeah, continuum between homosocial and homosexuality, unbroken. Y'all see that? So, highlight that right there.
You're gonna highlight the whole thing. Let me go back from here.
Oh boy, that's okay. That's okay. 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 You can close it out. That's fine. The point of the matter is, you can close it out. Okay. And y'all can do the research later on. I don't want to get hung up on that stuff. It's just upsetting to the spirit. But you can close that out too. The point of the matter is, this stuff is rooted. This whole thing, with hitting the butt in sports, it's a sodomite Greek thing, right?
Yep.
The Epstein file stuff, all of that stuff is tied with a bunch of sodomite misbehavior that we talked about in the Maccabean, for Hanukkah, right? We're teaching about Hanukkah. It goes back to the transgender stuff, transhuman stuff. All of those things is about a bunch of sodomite mess.
They're just overlapping and overlaying and connecting at intersecting lines.
Exactly. So the people, to them, this is their world. This is their world. Let's move on.
Because a lot of
grown
times,
men hitting each other
a lot of times
behind.
in the sports world, how Epstein plays a part in the sports world too, not only from the financial part, but I forgot the term they use, where a lot of athletes talk about it, where they bring these women there to the hotel rooms, and who knows if they're what age they are, and they set the whole stage. So now you have people trapped, and you can blackmail people with all types of different things, and make them sign contracts and different things like that.
Yeah, women making big money with them.
And normally, from what I've heard, is when they have these parties for members, like they got a new team, they got picked, drafted, or whatever, picked and so forth. They have these parties and they get drunk, and then there's always someone to take pictures of them. There's drugs, there's a whole bunch of stuff to get them in a position of compromise.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at some key figures and associations with the whole Epstein thing and sports and you name it. Let's take a look at these things, right? You got who?
Steve Tisch, co-owner of New York Giants.
He's mentioned how many times?
Over 440 mentions in emails.
In the Epstein emails?
Casey Wasserman is chairman of the LA 28 Olympic Committee. And his flirtatious emails with certain people.
Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Then he expressed regret over the correspondence. Then you had Todd Bowley, owner of the Chelsea FC and part owner of the LA Dodgers. Emails from 2011 show attempts to arrange meetings with Epstein, right? These are key people in sports. Lawrence Stroll, owner of Aston Martin, the car, Formula One, received packages from Epstein involved in discussions about business deals.
And yes, Brother Jarrell, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, what does Michael Jordan have to do with racing cars? He just won some championship thing with racing some cars, and you can see how it is all connected.
Gene Todd, former FIA president, correspondence with Epstein in 2017, talked about social meetings with him. Flavio mentions in here too, Formula One team exchanged multiple emails with Epstein's between 2005 and 2010. Paul Allen, late owner of the Seattle Seahawks, mentioned in the emails with Epstein. Let's move on. In the NFL football, Robert Kraft, New England Patriots, Arthur Blank, Atlanta Falcons, Jeffrey Lurie, Philadelphia Eagles, Jim Irsay, Indiana Colts, right? You got the NBA
Basketball
teams,
Steve Ballmer, yep. Clippers, Mickey Arison, Herb Simon for the Pacers, Mark Cuban, former owner of Dallas Mavericks, and now Miriam Adelson, Dallas Mavericks.
These are all the issue people, the Jubus people who own teams and stuff. Move on. The MLS, which is soccer, you got Robert Kraft and Arthur Blank and David Tepper and Jay Sugarman, David Blitzer. Baseball, Larry Bear for the Giants, right? That international and other soccer teams, Roman Abramovich, Alona Barkat, and then you have historic others, Edward Gottlieb, right?
Gottlieb.
And Leslie Alexander and so forth, Houston Rockets and the Warriors, right? Let's move on. Remember this lady here? She's the one Adelson, who helped Trump put money for Agent 47 to get elected, right?
Sponsors, yeah. Put money in the pot.
So she's tied in with the Mavericks, 3.5 billion acquisition, right? Funder of the IAC, ZOA, these are all Zionist groups, and Birthright, owner of the Israel Hayom, direct financing of Zionist advocacy and settlement infrastructure.
Yeah.
You got Steve Ballmer, he's with the Clippers.
And this guy has been allegedly many times discrimination against people of color.
Yes.
All the time.
Yep. Significant donor to the Jewish National Fund, has characterized Microsoft as an Israeli company. So Microsoft is categorized by this guy as an Israeli company. Okay. And support through the tech world and so forth with Israel. Dan Gilbert,
Cleveland owner.
Cavaliers, right? He's tied with the medical center in Tel Aviv, donated $1 billion to various initiatives, including Jewish causes, right? Medical research and so forth in Israel. Mickey Arison, he's a Miami Heat, born in Tel Aviv, right? His father founded Carnival. I don't know, is that Carnival the ship, boat thing, tourist?
I believe so.
After fighting in the 1940 war, family owns Bank Hapolim. Deep familial and financial roots in the Israeli banking and maritime sector. So that's probably dealing with the Carnival cruise line, because that's maritime sectors. All right. Joel LaCob, the Warriors, identified as a significant supporter of Jewish and pro-Israel organization.
Yes, that's the Carnival Cruise Line. He's the one who founded that company.
Okay. And the Mardi Gras and all kinds of stuff, right? Okay. Mardi Gras is supposed to be Christian stuff, right? Mardi Gras. Anyway. Supporter of the Abraham Accords. Y'all see that?
Right here.
Abraham Accords. So these people who have these teams and whatnot are all involved in some type of political connection with Israel and banking. Let's look at the circle of deviancy. The Forward, which is a left-wing Jewish independent nonprofit newspaper, has this headline: Dan Snyder to sell Washington Commanders to Jewish billionaire Josh Harris for record $6 billion, right? One Jewish group selling to another Jewish group for money, right? All right, read that for me, Brother O'Shea.
Convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and 76ers Commanders, Devils, and Crystal Palace co-owner Josh Harris had an ongoing business relationship that included numerous phone calls and at least one visit to Epstein's home in Manhattan, according to emails released Friday by the U.S. Department of Justice.
So they're all connected to the same deviant behavior, right? Down below, they got the BBC Sports Edition. It says the F1, football, and NFL figures with Epstein links after conviction. They're all connected. Let's move on. All connected, Mishpachah. Let's read this. Dan Snyder.
Dan Snyder, the Jewish owner of the Washington Commanders football team, who is under multiple investigations over sexual harassment and toxic workplace cultural allegations, has agreed in principle to sell his NFL franchise to a group led by Jewish billionaire Josh Harris for a record $6.5 billion.
So it's only changing from one of the same people to another. That's all it is.
The Commanders' sale comes monthly after another Jewish billionaire, Matt Ishbia, purchased the NBA's Phoenix Suns and WNBA's Phoenix Mercury from another embattled Jewish owner, Robert Sarver.
We're going to see what's going on with these people. Go ahead.
Ishbia is buying the teams from Robert Sarver, who cited his Jewish identity when he announced in September that he would sell the basketball teams he has owned since 2004.
So he's acting like he's a regular goyim for some reason, right? And then when he's selling the team, he says, you know what? I'm a Jubu. Go ahead and read. Sarver.
Sarver, a real estate businessman with a net worth of nearly $1 billion, announced the sale after facing a suspension of $10 million fine as a result of an investigation that found a pattern of inappropriate and abusive behavior, including racist marks and sexual harassment toward employees.
So this goes in line with the Epstein. It goes in line with the same thing that when we started with the whole sodomite type behavior. These people are degenerates.
Yep. Poison.
Degenerates. So these are the people in your neighborhood, the people that you meet each day, and these are the people that run in your politics.
While you're walking down the street.
Your sports. They're tied into, remember, the religion. They're tied into every single. So when you go to say, let me buy a ticket to sit back with my family or put on, pay-per-view or whatever it is to watch some sports, you're paying for this type of behavior.
Let me see if
the people are bought out and sold. These guys who are playing on the team are just part of the money-making scheme. That's all it is.
Let me see if...
All right, let's move on, Brother Shay. Let's move on. And I want you to pull up a scripture too. Pull up Psalm 73 and verses 12.
Okay, Psalm 73.
Let's pull up some scripture. Let's cool the brain down with some scripture. Let's get some reassurance from the word. Okay?
Psalm 73
and verses 12.
I have it here, yeah. 73 and verse 12. Okay. And that reads, "Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches."
They do what?
Increase in riches.
They increase in riches. This is how they make their money. The Bible classifies these people not as your best friends, not as the people that you should aspire to become, right? Or emulate. Oh, I'm going to try to do this. No, there's a rope on the end of it. It says,
here you go.
Slow down, Brother Shay. Slow down. "Behold, these are the ungodly who do what? Prosper in the world." Now get Isaiah 33 verses 15 to 17. Isaiah 33. I'm going to pick it up at verses 15. All right. So we have to always go back to the scripture to remind us what our Elohim has stated for us. Okay? Isaiah 33, 15 to verses 17. Let us read.
It reads, He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil.
Like these football and basketball players and baseball players, when they go over to Israel, when they go over and they see children abused, women abused, boys abused, and being circles with men are drinking and smoking the cigars and stuff and talking about this kind of lewd behavior. If you go for the first time and you see this type of behavior and your name is on the list for being there, you can say, listen, I went. Yes, I was there. And when I saw the stuff, I was like, nah.
You get canceled.
You know what? I'm done with this foolishness.
That's why
I'm done with this stuff.
That's why sometimes you see certain athletes or movie stars that they come out, they hit it big and then they disappear. Because most of the time when they do that, they don't want to have anything to do with that, so they can't continue in that lifestyle because they want to speak out against it. This, for example, there's a player just recently that's been talking against a lot of things, and he's been getting a lot of backlash from a lot of the sports, like Nike, Adidas, the Israeli stuff.
I think we're going to cover a little bit of that too, hopefully, tonight. So go back and read it again, 15.
Okay, verse 15 again.
Yes.
He that walketh righteously,
a person that walks righteous,
and speaketh uprightly,
and to speak the truth,
he that despiseth the gain of oppression.
So people who are making money off of oppression, abusing people, children, women, people who are making money, merchandise off of the suffering of other people's lives. Go ahead.
That shaketh his hands from holding of bribes.
Like, I don't want nothing to do with that. Like somebody's going to pass you a little envelope like, yo, hold this. Hold this, put that in there. No. Well, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead.
That stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil.
Read.
Verse 16. He shall dwell on high.
He will dwell where?
On high.
The Most High is going to lift him up. Go ahead.
His place of defense shall be the mutation of
munitions of rocks. That is like a fortress of rocks. Go ahead.
Bread shall be given him. His waters shall be sure.
The Most High will give you house, food, shelter, drink. He will protect you. That's what the Most High promised those who live righteous. 17.
Thine eyes shall see the king in his beauty.
So that's a promise. You'll enter the kingdom. Go ahead.
They shall behold a land that is very far off.
The Most High already give you some security. So you're chasing after all of these things, and look at me, I'm in a league, I got signed. Most of our young men are trying to be ballers or rappers.
Athletes.
You talk about Torah, like Torah. Let me smoke my blunt. Let me go live this type of a life. You know, let me try to chase after skirts and blouses and whatever it is. As a matter of fact, you don't do skirts and blouses anymore. That's old school talk.
That's done.
Yeah, you don't do blouses and skirts anymore. That's gone. All right, let's read this article here. You can.
Before we read it, I want to pull up one quick scripture here.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do Romans 6 and verse 6.
There's a price, family. There's a price for walking on the dark side. There's a huge price. Satan told Messiah, all these things that I'm going to give you, man.
Yep.
If you bow down and worship me, and it looks really good. I mean, you're in the hood, and somebody offers you $1 billion, like in 2 weeks, you're going to be a huge star. You're like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? It says, well, you can sacrifice a member of your family. Who do you love the most in your life? And you're thinking. And then you cough it up and you say who it is that you love the most in your life. And that spirit is saying, that person got to go tonight. And I promise you're going to get that money. And you're thinking, I don't want to be here in this generational curse. Deuteronomy 28 is not for me. I'm not a Hebrew. I'm not this, I'm not that. And you forfeit your place. For what? a short-lived life of luxury. Do you think that these people are happy?
They are most miserable.
Most of these people are running like cockroaches because the light is put on top of them, and now the world is seeing them for who they are.
Yep. This is Romans 6 and verse 16. It says, Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom you obey.
That's
whether
right.
of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
So when you make that deal with the devil, you got to obey the devil, whatever he tells you to do. Right? You have forfeited life. All right, let's get back into this. This is from the AP, U.S. News. Some U.S. schools cancel class pictures after online claims surrounding Epstein. Can you imagine that? You're supposed to get a school photograph and find out that the company is tied to Epstein. Let's read this. Malakoff, Texas.
Some school districts in the U.S. dropped plans for class pictures after widespread social media posts linked a billionaire with ties to Jeffrey Epstein to the photography giant Lifetouch.
Lifetouch. Even that name is suspect. Lifetouch. You want to touch life.
Touch your life. No.
Lifetouch, go ahead.
Which on Friday called the claims completely false.
Of course they will. Of course they will.
The disruption to school picture plans in Texas and elsewhere began after online posts linked Lifetouch with photographs millions of students each year to the investment fund manager Apollo Global Management.
And y'all can look that up because that group is tied into a whole lot of stuff in Israel.
You take those pictures and you could do all kinds of AI changes.
Look it up, family, when you have a chance. Go ahead and read.
Apollo's former CEO is billionaire investor Leon Black, who met regularly with Epstein and was advised by Epstein's on financial matters. Black led the company in 2019 when funds managed by Apollo bought Lifetouch parent company Shutterfly. I remember that
company has $840 billion of assets, hedge funds, loans. Right? Go ahead and read.
The $2.7 billion deal closed in September 2019, a month after Epstein's death by suicide behind bars as he awaited trial over allegations from federal prosecutors that he sexually abused and trafficked dozens of girls.
Now, that same company, one of the founders is Josh Harris, the same guy who owns a team. He's in sports.
You shake the tree.
The Washington Commanders, New Jersey Devils, the 76ers of Philly. Same people.
New Jersey Devils.
Okay. Let me see what else I want to get in from this. This guy is spread all over, offices all over North America, Europe, and Asia. Co-founder Leon Black resigned as CEO in 21 because of sexual misconduct and ties to Epstein, right? Okay, let us move on. AIPAC, everybody knows AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, connections to sports. Let's take a look. Let's read.
Sports events and fundraising. AIPAC has utilized sports events for fundraising and outreach.
So the sports is used as a tool to raise money. Do y'all see that? AIPAC uses sports events to raise money. Go ahead and read.
The organization often engages with influential figures in the sports industry, including team owners and executives, to bolster its financial support and visibility.
Read.
Influence of sports figures. Prominent sports figures and owners have been known to support AIPAC, contributing to its fundraising efforts. This connection helps AIPAC reach a wider audience and engage with diverse communities.
I wonder who the diverse communities are. You know who's having a hard time signing on to the Zionist movement? The real Hebrews. Because the real Hebrews see the suffering of the Palestinians as their own suffering too. Apartheid system, Jim Crow laws, sound down laws, right? Can't drink from this fountain type laws, white supremacy type laws, beating laws, lynching laws, shooting laws. We see all these things happen in our history book. We look across into our homeland and we see the same thing going on over there. And we says, nah. So they need our own people who is already on a team, who's making a lot of money, who's had that the bribe package. Listen, this you got to sign this. I want to invite you to an after party.
An event.
An event. Your famous rapper is going to be there. Who? The Diddler. He's going to be there. And just don't worry about putting on nothing special. Just show up. All the drinks you want, whatever it is. When you go there, you wake up and you can't even walk in a straight line.
You open the bag and the package and there's
you can't even walk in a straight line. You walking like.
Exact.
Overlubed. Like, right? And they got the pictures of it too.
Oh, yeah.
Compromising pictures.
The evidence is there.
You know what I mean? You in certain compromised positions. So then what are you going to say? You're going to show up and support AIPAC. Okay, go ahead and read. Dog walking. Yeah, and everything else except your mouth is quacking.
I wonder. I'm gonna play this video next. I wonder what compromising videos they have on this individual. I'll play it next.
All right.
AIPAC's involvement in sports reflects its broader strategy.
It's what?
Broader strategy.
Broader strategy. Go ahead.
To connect with various sectors of American society, using sports as a platform to promote its pro-Israel agenda and strengthen ties within the community.
And you remember, where's the number one sodomite capital in the Middle East?
You tell it,
or I would say even the world.
You tell it, and you could weave it with it.
Tell the disease. Tell the disease over there, right? All right, AIPAC
has programs that involve athletes visiting Israel, promoting positive narratives about the country.
That's called the propaganda department.
I'm trying to find this
one. The propaganda department. You can move on to the next slide while you look for that.
Oh, I have the video here, but I'm looking for another one that okay. Did you talk about Tel Aviv?
Well, go ahead and play it, and then you'll find the other one.
Okay, let's play this.
Brethren, you can't make this stuff up.
I've played this similar one to this a while back, but let me play this one again, make it big, so y'all can see it for yourself. Okay.
Fair use.
Fair use.
And like I said before, I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel.
Now, I pause it because I want to know what they have on him.
Well, look behind him. Was that Kifa? That guy's what?
Illiterate.
Illiterate?
So they couldn't read. Let me go back a little bit. Yeah.
I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel.
Something looks sweet about him, doesn't it?
The one and only, Floyd Money Mayweather. In Israel, I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice.
What about your people that don't have a voice? Sell out.
Something doesn't look right about. He looks. There's a little sweetness. I don't know. It looks like sweet milk, condensed milk. Condensed chocolate
yes,
milk.
because they have something on him. They got something on him.
Something isn't right.
Let me go to the next page in the meantime.
Lips look a little too polished. Brother, you're supposed to be a boxer, man. Where's the boxer lips or something like that? Where's the scars, man?
No, they put too much Vaseline on him. That's what it is.
I don't know what's going on with this dude. All right, this is an article from The Nation. January 31st, 2024. In the fight against anti-Semitism, Robert Kraft is part of the problem. Okay? The foundation run by the owner of the New England Patriots has purchased a Super Bowl ad titled Stop Jewish Hate, but it's the foundation that is helping to fuel anti-Semitism. It says the New England Patriots' 81-year-old owner, Robert Kraft, writes 7-digit checks to the right-wing Israeli lobbying machine AIPAC, but his personal, political, and financial ties to Israel run deeper than the occasional donation. The multi-billionaire married his late wife, Myra, in Israel in 1963, when Kraft, then 22 years old, 22, was older than the nation itself. Together, they set up numerous businesses, athletic and charitable ties to Israel, a record of which is proudly proclaimed on the Kraft's company website. In particular, the Kraft Group boasts of its, quote, Touchdown in Israel program, where NFL players are given free, highly organized vacations. Free. Now, these players are rich. You don't need free vacations. It's the poor people like us.
Yep.
All right. Free, highly organized vacations to see the, quote, Holy Land. Now, the land is not so holy. That's why they got it in small letters.
The land is not holy.
Right? And come back to spread the word about, quote, the only democracy in the Middle East. That's a political term. Right? The only democracy in the Middle East. Not every NFL player has chosen to take part. Kraft also attends fundraisers for the Israel Defense Forces, the IDF, currently and in open view of the world, committing war crimes in Gaza. You've seen the video. They haven't even removed all the bodies under the rubble. You're talking about buildings that have been demolished for miles, brethren. Stuff is no joke.
Let me see if I have this. If it's this the
right?
one.
You are an NFL player pushing your stuff in America. Then our people go out talking about, hey, you're gonna watch the game. The game has more props than the Torah, the scriptures itself. You come to a Hebrew and talk about the Bible, they're gonna look at you cross-eyed, like you're mad or something. Let's move on to our next. Silver Spoon. This is Adam Silver.
Alien.
Look at this guy's face. Look at his lips. Something don't look right about this guy, brethren. Put a one in the chat if y'all sisters would love to have a real Jubu. All right? Put a one in the chat. This is what you got to look at if you join the NBA. All right, let's move on. Silver Spooned. This is from the Orinoco Tribune, titled Super Bowl Propaganda. Patriots Robert Kraft Ties to America Explained. There's a PDF you can pull up.
Okay, just one down here.
So you can pull that to the side. Pull that up so we can go through this just a little taste and see.
This one right here.
A little bit to see what's going on with these folks, right? All right, let's open that up. Mishpachah to take a look. All right, scroll down. So, Super Bowl propaganda. Patriots, Robert Kraft's ties to Israel explained. There he is. And there he's given Netanyahu the silver football, right? A trophy. Why does Netanyahu needs a trophy for? He's not American, right?
No, we don't care about that kind of stuff.
All right, let's just read the highlighted parts.
Americans tuning in to watch the Super Bowl were met with a barrage of unusual propaganda. Nestled between the typical ads for cars and beer were two bizarre messages. One from the Foundation of Combat Anti-Semitism, which is FCAS, and the other from the State of Israel itself.
No, the country of Russia.
State of Israel.
Now, I want y'all to think carefully. If the Super Bowl was putting out ads in support of Russia, how about Iran? How about China? Think about it. An American broadcast network is pushing out ads for an American sport, promoting either Russia, Iraq, Iran, just Turkey. Do you think people are going to digest that thing? You think Fox News is going to say, oh, that was a good show? Mm-mm. Or Fox News will be screaming that Putin wants to take over American sports. But do you hear the same cry against a foreign country? You don't hear that kind of stuff, family. All right? And this goes to show the problem. There should be no foreign countries being advertised during a Super Bowl. None. Let's continue reading.
Okay. Both were immediately related to the ongoing slaughter in Gaza and trying to draw attention away from Israeli war crimes.
All right, let's read the message.
It says, the message is that there is a growing tidal wave of racist intolerance in America, and that we must all come together to oppose anti-Semitism.
All right, let's go down to the next line. Super Bowl ads.
Super Bowl ads do not come cheap.
Let's see the price.
And it's $7 million for 30 seconds airtime price tag.
30 seconds to blow $7 million. Like this. All right, continue on. Was footed by
the billionaire owner of the New England Patriots NFL franchise, Robert Kraft. Kraft net worth is $11 billion, made his fortune in the paper and packaging business, and has deep ties to the state of Israel.
It didn't just say ties with Israel. It says deep ties.
Deep ties.
So you can chop the tree down.
And it's all the way in the roots.
And you come with your pickaxe and you're digging, and that stump is so deep. The roots is deep. It's running everywhere.
It runs to the neighbor next door.
The neighbor next door. And that little tree that's shooting up in the neighbor next door is still the same tree.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Offspring. Including donating hundreds of millions of dollars to pro-Israel groups and funding pro-Israel candidates in
that's politics. Go ahead.
In U.S. elections.
So even the elections are bought out by the sports department. Y'all see that? So you got. Let's look at this thing carefully. How many people fill an arena? How many people normally fill it? What, 30,000, 50,000?
It depends on the arena. Let's see. It depends on the arena.
Let's do a search. How many people fills a Super Bowl arena? Fills a football stadium or Super Bowl, yeah. 65 to 75,000 persons, right? And what is the price for a Super Bowl? Let's see. Let's think about that.
Price for Super Bowl tickets.
8,000 get-in prices, between 4,000, 6,000 just per kickoff. Some tickets go up to 51,000 for premium seats.
That's money to make.
I want y'all to think about this.
Now, a poor man can't go there.
Speaking to the mic, Elder. Speaking to the mic.
A poor man cannot go there. Where you will get that money? You never see that kind of money in your life.
Average price is $7,500 for a ticket. And I want y'all to think about this. These guys have deep ties. They are funding and they have also relations with governments. And they're raising a lot of money. So when you go, right, and you multiply, let's take the smallest number. You multiply 4,000 times 75,000 people. How much money is that, family?
That's a lot.
On the low. 4,000 times 75,000 heads. How much money is that? But Mikey says 80,000?
100K.
300,000 K? And that's just on the low. If that's true, that's on the low, right?
Average ticket price. Get-in prices between
How much money does a Super Bowl make? Type that in and let's see. And pull up those numbers. So what I'm trying to show you is that we our people are spending that kind of money to go to a game, right? This says $300 million to $1 billion alone, family. And we are putting that money on the table so we can support Israel. Y'all see how it works? And then you're buying the merchandise. Oh man, I got my Jordans. Yeah, your Jordans is supporting Israel. I got this on. That is supporting Israel too. And you're supporting the politicians that are getting elected because when they get all this money, they're paying off all the people. All right, come on. Next, here's your cut. You over there, come on. Where are you from? I'm from the state of Texas. Okay, come on up. Here's your cut. You next. Where are you from?
The NBA generates 11 billion to 12.5 billion in annual revenue.
Everybody is being bought and paid for. Everybody. Right? To do what? Support the Blue Star.
And they get all our people by subscriptions. When you get all these subscriptions to stream and to watch, just one Hebrew house is paying, and then you have millions of Hebrew houses paying, and that's what you get right there.
Everybody's talking about their team. You know how many chicken wings are sold? Buffalo wings?
Let me see if I can pull this
Pizzas?
up.
I mean, a lot of food has been sold at that time. Beer.
Pause it. This is what I wanted to show.
What you got there, Brother Shay? What's this about?
This is Pat Beverly. He's talking about his experience in Tel Aviv. He's an NBA player that now plays for Israeli team.
All right. Uh-oh. It's unmuted.
Get text messages. Pat, you okay? You're playing in Israel. Obviously, you know, I wake up, I get phone calls, I get text messages. Pat, you okay? You okay? You okay? I'm waking up in paradise every day. Every day. The sun is pink when it sets. The city of Tel Aviv, they're giving me private beaches to go to after practice. I sit on the beach for 6-7 hours a day. I'm standing in this big ass, like huge mansion, villa. Probably one of the best places I ever played basketball. No cap.
It's a beautiful place.
Words can't describe it.
Wow.
Words can't describe it. You honestly have to be here to understand. Like the sunset, the people, the food is great. The water is spectacular. It's 90 degrees every day. The water is a cool 78 warm. Like, I mean, Ron, I can't make none of this up, bro. Me coming from the NBA, the city loves the shit out of me. Tel Aviv has been phenomenal. Paradise, truly paradise.
All right. Guess what? When our Messiah returns, it will be paradise. He's going to flush out that whole rat nest of all the nonsense that's going on, right? But it's we have to be faithful. There's a certain level of faithfulness. We got to play on the right team. We got to play on the right team, right? Okay, so what you got here?
So this is baseball now, even higher.
12 billion
in revenue. That was 2024.
So when you look at the numbers that are made from these people, when they pool their money together, this is a juggernaut. All right? This is a machine that you really can't fight against. It takes our Messiah returning to fight against this whole thing.
Oops.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back to that.
Continue
reading. Let's see. Yeah, scroll down. Actually, go back up. Let's see.
We were that day.
Donating hundreds of millions of dollars to pro-Israel groups and funding pro-Israel candidates. He even enjoys a close relationship with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Y'all see that?
Yeah, Bibi.
All right, so scroll down. Let's get to the next part where it's underlined.
Including leading dozens of PR missions.
That's propaganda missions.
Bringing celebrities and sports stars with him.
So he's always bringing stars like the one that you just played.
Yep.
The brother says, man, we got mansions. I got my own beach. Food is good. I mean, they're always checking up on me. He's like, I'm living a life.
He also maintains a network of charities across Israel. And I was just to wonder, why these guys always taking people over there?
Hey, brethren, put a one in the chat. Should Rabbi Yonah go over there and and go do the visit and come back.
I don't think
so.
they
We can
would.
build up the channel real good. Get the 7,000.
I think you're on.
per episode. Huh?
I think we might be on a banned thing. I think they might have us banned already anyway.
You think? I mean, folks have been saying, Rabbi, why don't you go to Israel? I said, no, get arrested for what? I mean, I'll have. You know what? I got to sacrifice. You want to see me come back at the airport, walking a little funny, like?
Nah.
No way. Nope. Let's read on, Brother Shay. In December,
the Rebbe's missing.
instead of Rebbe, they'll call me Rubber. The Rabbi. Go ahead and
In
read.
December, he pledged a gigantic $100 million to the FCAS. This was Forbes reported to educate the public about the rise in anti-Semitic incidents and further develop the relationship between the black and Jewish communities.
Because they have a problem getting us on board. Go ahead and read.
That's why you had to pay all that money. Super Bowl ads was part of Kraft's plan to target the black community.
See that? Read.
Black Americans.
Point so people can see where you are. Yeah, there you go. Highlight a little bit. There you go.
Black Americans are far more progressive on Palestine than the rest of the population. Many black leaders, as well as movements such as Black Lives Matter, have allied themselves with the Palestinian cause.
Seeing the parallels between the sufferation between us and those people, all right? A December poll.
A December poll by the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace found that 28% of the black population favored an immediate ceasefire as opposed to 20% of white Americans.
Yeah, because the oppressed people can relate to other people that are oppressed. But people who have been always in supremacy roles, they don't feel like they're desensitized. They don't feel anything. Like the movie with Samuel Jackson. I forgot his call. Is it Mississippi Burning? Or something where his daughter was messed with by a bunch of rednecks. And he took justice in his hand, right? What is it called?
Yeah, Mississippi Burning.
Mississippi Burning. And the lawyer was trying to figure out, how can I get this guy off the thing? And he says, I want that lawyer. He can do it. And the lawyer says, close your eyes. He told the jury, close your eyes. And just imagine this young baby is your baby. Close your eyes and just imagine little Becky taking a walk, picking some daisies.
Let's call it Time to Kill.
Time to Kill. Okay, Time to Kill. Thank you, Time to Kill. The daisies. And then some sweaty guy come and grabbed her up. When they open her eyes, so he had to cause them to be in the dark to see the dark man. By closing their eyes, this is just completely black. Because when they look at the black man, they can't see life. They can't see a human being. So you have to relate within yourself in order to sympathize with somebody else's suffering. Anyway, let's read on. He had?
Right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Funding anti-Semitism. In Kraft's view, therefore, the black population's outlook is a problem.
See that? We are a problem.
After the ceremony, he had lunch with his friend, Prime Minister Bibi. Kraft had previously supported Bibi by attending his speech to Congress in 2015. Israel does not have a more loyal friend than Robert Kraft.
I think Agent 47 will be jealous because I thought Agent 47 was a more loyal friend. Now you can see what is bruh, what you doing in the back?
The football player or something.
What's your square head?
Yeah, he's part of the staff of his team. That's why he's there. Previous player.
Man, and they got him positioned for the photo op next to the flag too. I'm sure his hands are around that pole. They're holding that thing. Anyway, let's read the next piece.
Kraft was awarded the $1 million Genesis Prize for his efforts in philanthropy and combating anti-Semitism.
Scroll down. Let's keep going down. Let's read the next piece.
The Israel lobby's financier. Kraft is one of the Israel lobby's chief benefactors, donating millions of dollars to various groups throughout his life. In 2022, for example, he gave $1 million to the American Israel Public Affairs community.
So all of y'all who love the football teams, you can see where the money's going, right?
This is why Deflategate and some other stuff that he got caught in, because he's the owner of the team Tom Brady was on.
All right. How many of y'all love Tom Brady?
And Tom Brady won the most rings.
And Tom Brady's wife was a witch.
Was a witch. It's all a cesspool of warlocks and wood woosers.
I tell you, let's read on.
Okay, right here. American Israeli Public Affairs Community, APAC, Super PAC.
Super. That's bigger monies.
Works to push pro-Israeli policies across the U.S. and insert pro-Israel language, all this pro stuff, into as many pieces of legislation as possible.
So when you vote someone to go to Congress, they push a little piece of Israel. Every time you vote for something, it's between the thing. There's a piece for Israel in there. Go ahead.
He also funds the Friends of the Israeli Defense Force, IDF, a group that raises money to help Israeli soldiers, even as they carry out war crimes in Palestine.
And a lot of Americans who have dual citizenship will leave New York and other places to go fight in Israel.
And come back.
And
get paid for it.
No problem. Now you leave to go fight for Russia and come back and see what happens. See what happens.
Good luck.
Go ahead and read.
Syria and beyond. Other pro-Israel groups he has given sizable donations to include American Friends of the Israel Museum, American Friends of the Yitzhak Rabin Center.
These are all friends, huh?
Yeah.
American Friends. Go ahead.
The Anti-Defamation League, the Committee of Accuracy in Middle East Reporting and Analysis.
That's a brainwashing group. Go ahead.
The Jewish Agency for Israel.
The spy stuff. Propaganda network.
The Jewish National Fund. Stand With Us. The Israel Project. Through his organization, Touchdown in Israel, Kraft regularly organizes propaganda trips to Israel for former NFL players.
For the former NFL players. So you washed up, your knees broke, your back broke, you got problems, but you can still be useful for the Israeli cause. Come to Israel. We'll take care of you. Just speak a few words for us. Face the camera and tell them how much you love Israel. Continue on.
No doubt, hoping they will become advocates of the Jewish state.
All right, let's go on to the next piece.
In 2021, for example, he donated $5,800 to Congresswoman Chantel Brown.
Chantel, that sounds like a Hebrew. Hey, Chantel Brown.
And that's only $5,000.
That's the low. That's cheap. That's really cheap.
But he giving billions to Bibi. In her continuous face-off against progressive Nina Turner, and another $2,900 to her re-election.
That's little money. Little money.
Brown was a little-known but strongly pro-Israel candidate standing against a Democratic Socialist, national co-chair of Bernie Sanders' 2020 election campaign, and an outspoken critic of Israeli policies.
So if you speak against Israel as a politician, they will raise somebody up. They will finance somebody to fight against you, to destroy you. Vast amount
of pro-Israeli money flowed into Brown's campaign, helping her to defeat Turner. In her acceptance speech, Brown praised Israel and later thanked the Jewish community for helping me get over the finish line.
So you trying to get a politician in office, but you don't realize that when you go watch a game and you buy the hot dog and the popcorn at the game, you're paying for the demise of the same candidate.
Can't win.
You know what I mean? This stuff is all connected. Oh, yeah. Come to find out that these guys them and Epstein hang out like brothers, man. Go ahead and read. Kraft
has also given money to pro-Israel Democrats.
See that? They support both sides. Sport journalists.
Sports journalist Dave Zurin, for example, recently wrote, quote, he appears to think that any criticism of Israel is inherently anti-Semitic.
See that? You open your mouth one time and says, listen, I don't believe that a country should kill its citizens or destroy or just do such damage to people. You okay, Brother Shay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Get some big yawns there. All right, what do you have in your cup?
No, I'm about to have some
You have
tea.
some Israeli drink there and messing up my okay, let's read.
Nevertheless, the Super Bowl was the most watched American telecast ever, reaching over 123 million viewers.
That's a lot of money for the networks. That's a lot of money for the networks in ads alone. Bears, you name it. Gear, just clothing. You name it. It's just a whole lot of stuff. Everybody's trying to put money to advertise their stuff because they know all it takes is just 15 seconds to remember for that thing to be implanted on the brain. And you're thinking, but I feel like having some winks. And you can't figure out why, for some reason, all week, I want these winks. And a big Slurpee.
Wow.
What happened?
Oh, that was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You went to the bottom? All right. So, this is, again, on the side, invest in Israeli sports and entertainment. You can see what's going on as we looked at the PDF. Let's move to our next slide. When you watch the NBA, they are watching you. From Tel Aviv to Tokyo, how Israeli entertainment tech is powering global sports. So you have all of these startup companies. And we don't need to pull the article for this because we have other stuff that's going to talk about the same stuff, right?
Okay.
But you can see clearly, family, that not only are they invested in the sports, but they got the tech behind the stuff, analyzing with bots, with AI, watching, programming stuff, right? And when you are using their apps and using the stuff, they're watching what you're doing too.
They can see when you scroll in through and follow you.
Let's move on to the next. NBA star Stephen Curry's ties to Israeli military intelligence. How many of y'all knew about this?
Stephen Curry.
We're going to pull that up too, but I want you to read this part. This is from, what is this, X?
Right here?
Yeah, just read that part.
It says, Kevin Durant invested in an Israeli surveillance drone startup. Draymond Green shot guns with the IDF. And Curry has multiple Hebrew tattoos.
Look at the Hebrew tattoos all over his arms, right? Go ahead.
The owner of the Golden State Warriors are huge Zionists. That's why they're so connected.
All right.
Makes perfect sense to me.
All right, pull out to the side. Pull up the article.
Okay.
Pull up that article. We got a lot of meat in this one. And this is, you're going to be shaking your head because can you imagine...
This one?
Yeah, that's the one right there.
Okay.
Can you imagine that this guy...
They call him...
Not just support Israel per se, but this dude is going to invest his money in a spy network that's going to be spying on us. Let's read that, Brother Shea, for time's sake. Let's get it.
American basketball star Stephen Curry is investing in tech startup run by former IDF operatives.
So these are spies who work for the IDF, Israeli government, and when they leave that, they set up spyware tech companies to spy on everybody else. Read on.
Who were integral to building Israel's digital architecture of apartheid and genocide.
So when you see like the wolf, the blue wolf or whatever it is, remember the apps that they have to track people, reporters, anybody who disagrees, the tech that has the drones that's follow the people and says we're gonna blow you up if you don't step behind this line, and I mean all of that surveillance and apartheid that is happening over there, right? Part of the same program that geofence Christians when they go to church. So you go to church and all of a sudden your phone is telling you support Israel. They're like, what's going on? I'm supposed to be praising Jesus, and you're telling about supporting Israel?
Yeah, because
and when you turn over to your friend, they say, like, hey, Sally, did you get that email about supporting Israel?
Yeah, Jesus says support Israel.
And everybody's getting the same thing. Let's read on. He
has
has
invested in the companies both run and staffed by former Israeli spies through his venture capital from Penny Jar Capital.
his firm called Penny Jar Capital. Read on.
Curry has made these investments alongside Israeli venture capital firms, which are also deeply embedded in Israeli intelligence establishment and American venture capital funds connected to the Zionist lobby.
Read on. Zaffron Security. Zaffron Security, which
Okay. Zaffron Security, which Curry's firm backed in a $30 million funding round in 2024, is run by Sanza Yashar, an Iranian raised in Tehran, who was recruited as a teenager by Israel and spent 15 years as a spy within Unit 8200.
So you take an Iranian girl, right, as a teenager and train her to be a spy for Unit 8200. Go ahead, the arm.
The arm of the IDF, which intercepts and hacks communications.
So y'all see that?
Her time in the IDF encompassed numerous assaults on Gaza, including the 2014 bombardment of the territory, which killed over 2,200 Palestinians, and the 2018-19 March of Return, which saw Israeli snipers murder hundreds and deliberately maim thousands.
Just shooting people. You see the snipers? Same snipers that these other knuckleheads be dealing with. Talking about let's go have a little...
Draymond Green, which is his teammate.
Have a little play. Let's play some games.
Yashar, co-founders at the cybersecurity startup Ben Siri, and
Sneer Havdalah
are also former Israeli intelligence officers.
Spies. Go ahead.
Havdalah served for a decade in Unit 8200, while Siri served in Unit 81, which is focused on building the offensive cyber weapons that Israel use against the Palestinians.
Uses. Not just use, but uses.
Against the Palestinians.
You want me to read?
I'm finished this. Iran and others, Yashar, Siri, and Havdalah were all awarded prizes for their IDF work.
Curry has invested in Zaffron alongside the U.S. venture capital firm Sequoia Capital, whose partner Sean McGuire is a pro-Israel fanatic and racist. McGuire organized Starlink access for the IDF, has spent 2 years making racist comments about Muslims, and in December falsely accused a Palestinian of the mass shooting at Brown University. Sequoia is the lead investor in Zaffron and has investments in more than 60 other Israeli death tech companies founded by ex-IDF spies. Curry is also invested in Zaffron alongside another U.S. venture firm, Manello Ventures, and Israeli firm Cyberstarts. Curry's other co-investors in Zaffron Cyberstarts was founded by Gili Ranan, a senior figure in Israel's military intelligence establishment. Ranan spent 15 years in the Unit 8200 and was awarded one of Israel's top prizes for IDF veterans, the Presidential Defense Prize, for his role in creating Israel's apartheid infrastructure. Upwind. The other Israeli cyber company financially backed by Curry is cloud security startup Upwind, founded by Amiriam Shaker Lavi Ferdman and Liran Polak, who all met while serving in the IDF's Mamram unit. Mamram is the computing arm which builds and maintains all the software for the Israeli military, and through which all signals intelligence is processed. Shortly after founding the firm, the three former Mamram agents hired Chief Operating Officer Tomer Hadassi, a Unit 82 veteran. In October, Upwind said that many of its team in Israel has been drafted as reservists to participate in the genocide of Gaza. Look at him hugging. Look at that.
No, he just
posing for the photograph.
That's all it is.
Okay. The partner at Bessemer who led their investment in Upwind is Adam Fisher, a joint U.S.-Israeli citizen who called on Israel to, quote, pound Gaza with an unprecedented response after October 7th. Y'all see that? Let's destroy the place. One of the biggest investors in Upwind is Greylock Partners, which last year appointed Unit 82 veteran Mor Chen to lead its Israel investments. Chen had previously been head of the 82 Accelerator, a special Israeli government-funded unit responsible for converting Unit 82 apartheid technologies into what? Commercially viable products. So when they use the people in Gaza
as test
subject of murder, destruction, right? They take the technology, what they have learned from killing out those people, they turn it into commercial products.
So what they have been doing, and I've seen this before in other places where they would have these auctioneers. So these people behind the scenes with billions and millions, what they'll do is they'll go to live, actionable hits, and then they will say, okay, let's watch and see, and then they'll show you operating, doing the stuff here, and then they'll be behind the scenes. They're like, yeah, I want to buy that, boom, 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 and they start selling it. So now they're buying this tech, commercially viable products. So when a live war is happening, people are buying the stuff behind the scenes. It's like they sit back and they're auctioning it off.
So both Zafran and Upwind are headquarters in the U.S. with R&D, research and development operations in Israel. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Cassiope and Zionism 2.0. Curry is also investing in Upwind alongside his former Golden State Warriors teammate Omri Cassiope, an Israeli basketball player who, after his retirement, founded a venture capital firm, right? Who has said his goal is to help build Zionism 2.0. Organized Elon Musk's visit to Israel in November of 2023, where he met who? Bibi. And has been a vocal cheerleader for Israel's genocide of Gaza. Let's scroll on down. And it goes on to even more about the financial setup. I don't think I want to read any more of that stuff. Let's see what else we want to get there. That's about it. Family, so this guy has invested money in one firm. That firm turns around and invests in other firms and builds other subdivisions and continues to spread like locusts. Let's move on to our next slide. Y'all see how things work? Israeli link Dazn embraces Saudi SURJ big investment. Sports money fuels Netanyahu, flattens Gaza. So the Arabs are also tied to the same wickedness.
Yep. Getting in on the betting.
Jewish news. Israel will dominate global sports just like it does in tech, says industry leader. All right, pull up the article. We won't be long on this. Just going to highlight a few things just to get to the point. Dazn, I think it's right here, that one right here.
Okay.
Just double click on that. There you go. Let's pull that up. So let's look at a few things. We won't be long, family. We're almost done. Scroll down. So go ahead and read, Brother Shay.
So while innocent civilians in Gaza are being bombed and the besieged strip is reduced to rubble, some Middle Eastern regimes have chosen not to side with the victims of aggression, but instead to deepen partnership with those funding the Israeli occupation.
Saudi
Arabia through its sports investment arm, Surger, announced a major investment in the UK-based streaming network
Dozen. And you can see it's linked with American Jewish billionaire Leonard Blavatnik. Okay. Inside deal. Read that part.
Though the deal was promoted as a leap forward in sports broadcasting, a closer look at the financial and management ties reveals a complex web of interesting linked to the Israeli occupation.
All right, that's all we need from that. Scroll down. Let's see if there's anything else. Look at that.
That's
right.
Here.
And these guys always look like some soft dudes, man. Some old rusty dudes.
Yeah.
Scroll down. So this is so funny though. Check this out. Dazn is owned by American Jewish, one of who? Britain's wealthiest businessmen.
Confusion.
It didn't say American or Jewish businessman. It says American Jewish billionaire, one of Britain's wealthiest businessmen.
So he's British that lives in America that is have ties to Jewish roots.
I want you to read in 2014 because we tying this into some of the classes Brother Shea did. Read.
In 2014, Blav donated $20 million to Tel Aviv University, and in 2021 he funded the creation of 5 research centers there, including one focused on artificial intelligence and data science.
See? Y'all see?
So on one hand, they're funding. That's what I'm saying. They have their hands in all the pots, and they're basically setting up shop to prepare the mark of the beast that's coming in.
All right, scroll down. Let's see if there's anything else that we need here. So you can see the pictures here. Look at all this money. You walk into that room, you can smell the money.
She can't breathe. She's sitting on her thing.
These are the people that shape society behind the scenes. See that? Money.
That's him right there.
Let's scroll down. All right. Look at that. Let's scroll down. That's a protest. So they are forming partnerships, and that's why you try to figure out, wait a minute. The people in Gaza, they're either Christian or or Islamic. Why? How come the Saudis, who claim to be the protector of Islam, isn't doing anything about this stuff?
Because they're getting monies put into those areas because they want to clean the area out.
But okay, so let's say they want to clear the area out. How come you don't open up a space in Saudi Arabia and allow how many millions of Palestinians to just live in that space and call it, I don't know, Little Palestine or something?
Turn the other way. Look the other way.
They got the money. They got the money to take the sand and rocks and throw it into the ocean and make palm tree islands. You know the palm tree islands, right? Or big hotels. Why can't they just throw something in the water and start
a new state of Israel there.
Do something over there. Let's go to our next.
Start a new state of Israel somewhere else.
All right. Let's read the headline.
Jerusalem Post, artificial intelligence and the transformation of Israeli sports technology.
Let's read sports technology in the global market.
Israel's influence in the global sports technology market is undeniable.
All right, let's read.
From wearable devices that monitor athletes' health to AI-powered scouting tools, Israeli innovations are helping shape the future of sports. Down here it says, for those interested in exploring platforms that leverage these advancements, resources like the top 10 sports betting sites.
Betting sites, that's gambling.
And they have this thing pushing. It was never like that, right? And they just had something where some of the players are getting arrested, coaches and stuff, for the actual gambling behind the scenes, right? But then they're gonna come and push something dog, whatever it is called. They have a lot of these betting sites. In the chat, Mr. What's some of these betting sites? You hear it all the time. that they've been pushing. And I ask myself, why do they keep pushing this stuff?
Yep. I've seen a lot of that as of late.
FanDuel is one.
I don't know any of these things because I don't even mess with that stuff.
No, but it pops up every time on commercials.
Yeah.
DraftKings is another one.
All right, let's move on to our next slide. I think we're almost about finished. Israel has now become the Silicon Valley of sports tech. And again, Israel is one of the biggest markets in the world that develops technology for who? Combat soldiers. So they use the real life scenario of destroying people's lives. And then they take that technology, it's called research and development. Now we can use it to make money and apply it to other governments and sports and you name it. Tech is everywhere. All right, let's move on. The impact of AI on security and defense. The expertise driving Israel's sports technology sector often overlaps with advancements in other fields, particularly security and defense. Keep that in mind. Because again, we talked about in the beginning about the market to beast system. They are all preparing themselves to run a total control over the world. Whatever that they are testing out in Gaza and the rest of the world, they want to use this in other countries. India, we showed you India using some of the stuff, and other countries using some of the same technology. So sports have a lot to do with it. This is why a lot of these sports games is like shooting and interaction, and then you have the online with you can play with somebody else in another country or state or whatever. And when you're thinking it's just you just play, no, they are monitoring who is the better person, and sometimes you might get something pop up in your email, your chat, like, I want to talk to you tomorrow at so and so time. I like the way you play that game, and you're thinking, what is this about? Well, we want to use you to do such and such. Brethren, they're always running these tests. What you got, Brother Shay?
I just want to play some of the videos we have before we close out.
All right, we're almost finished, brethren. We're almost done.
This is when Braun was meeting with a rabbi. Let's see right here.
Oh, yeah.
Play it again.
Now, if I'm correct, this is the same rabbi that Kanye went to kiss the ring. Let me see if we can find it. You can play whatever video.
I think Nick kind of had to go to him too, and I think Kyrie Irving also. Let me pull this one up here a minute.
Yes, that's him. Let me get the
and Nick Cannon. Look up the one for Nick Cannon.
Let me he's holding the rabbi's hand and asking for forgiveness and all kinds of craziness.
I tweeted free Palestine.
Okay, let me pause this a minute.
Okay, let me get this link, copy link. And let me send this over to you so you can pull it up for the peoples. For the peoples, by the peoples, for the peoples, right?
Yeah. So this one, let me just play this one. This is Dwight Howard.
I tweeted free Palestine, and I dang near got kicked out the league for it. And I'm like trying to figure out why. So I tweet free Palestine. Less than 10 minutes after I tweet that, I get a call from the commissioner of the NBA.
Stop it.
Agents, people working with my foundation at the time, Texas, you gotta erase this tweet. You gotta take this down. You're gonna get it. I'm like, what did I do that was so bad?
Can somebody explain to me?
Yeah, can somebody explain, you know?
Okay, so that's that one. Let's close that out.
Yeah, I sent you the link. It's the same rabbi. I don't know about Carrier, and I don't think that they have anything on him.
You want to play this one?
I mean, you don't have to. You can kill that one. I think
Okay.
we've made our case already for tonight on that. But you can pull up that.
There's this one here.
Nah, you can close that one out. That's fine. I think we got enough on that. Just pull up that.
Okay, let me play this one here. So this is really short. This is like
Okay, go ahead.
And then, all right.
Yeah, we want to make sure we have enough to share.
JB from Channel 14 in Israel. For all the Israeli fans, what message would you like to send for Israel? And also, what do you think about Danny Avdia?
Well, I've been quoted on Danny already. And they asked me what I thought about this season. I said I believe he was an all-star. And I mean, he is an all-star. He's playing, exceptional, basketball. So that's that. And then, I mean, if I have fans over there, I've never.
He said if you have fans, so he doesn't know. He's not aware of or connected to that side, basically. But just ask him a question, so he has to answer. Go back a little bit.
I mean, if I have fans over there, I've never been there. If I have fans over there, then I hope you have been following my career. I hope I inspire people over there to not only want to be great in sports, but I want you to be better in general in life. So hopefully someday I can make it over there. Like I said, I've never been over there, but I've heard nothing but great things. And
you've heard nothing but great things about Israel. But when his other guy, Kyrie Irving, when his other teammate was talking about, we are the people of the book, he never spoke up and say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he's only heard great things about Israel. What about the genocide over there?
Mm-hmm. All right.
I appreciate the question.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, LeBron.
Let's take a look at
okay, what you sent me.
What I sent you. Kiva sent something, but is that Good Morning America? I'm not sure. Or Nick Cannon, he put it in.
Okay, I'll pull it up in a minute.
But this is a picture of the rabbi. It's the same guy that what's his name?
LeBron was
dealing
hugging.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see he's holding hands. And and so he's speaking to the guy. You think that guy doesn't understand English?
Yes, he understands English.
These people live in New York for umpteen years.
This is all a show.
And
They go back
and
laugh.
a lot of them are born there, or they came there as children, because they didn't come from Lithuania or whatever it is that they came from, Poland, being that old.
Mm-hmm.
They know English.
Yeah.
But he's a Moroccan rabbi. So okay, you came from Morocco. I'm not even sure how old you were, but you understand English.
He's an Israeli Moroccan Orthodox rabbi.
Okay. Well, All right, you can close that out. Let's go back to our slides,
You
Brother
want me
Shea.
to pull up this one or no?
Yeah, you can pull that one up real quick. Let's see what happens here. And fair use for educational purposes.
Turning now to questions of faith and atonement. Tonight's edition of Soul of a Nation features the first network interview with comedian and TV host Nick Cannon since he sparked criticism for amplifying anti-Semitic language on his podcast last summer. Lindsay Davis
Okay, you
sat
can
down
close
with
it
him
out.
for the interview.
Yeah,
Good
you
morning
can close
to
it
you,
out.
Lindsay.
That's just the
Good
interview.
morning
You
to
close
you,
it out.
Amy. Those anti-Semitic comments and
I am. It's just slow.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't want to get flagged because they're looking for every which way. All right, so let's try to wrap it up. Let's go back to the slides.
That's it. That's the last slide.
Okay, brethren. We want to thank you all for being here tonight. We made our case. I hope. Did we make our case? Did we make our case? We try our very best to share with you the networks beneath the surface, how Satan have this thing well organized. And when you have that kind of money, you shouldn't spend that kind of money on something so vain as these games. And people will fight, they'll lose their lives over bets, and family will be broken up about teams and what is football or basketball, baseball, or whatever it is. And it's getting worse. A lot of homes are broken because of the gambling part of the addiction with sports. People are not focused because of sports. They make a lot of money with the games, the video games, with sports. Men are not being men because of sports. Yeah, it's like sports is their life, right? They won't come home because of sports. They lose their paycheck because of sports. And now you see where the money has been going, right? You have been financing your own destruction, our own destruction, all right? Instead of throwing that money over there, throw your money where it can build up the kingdom of Elohim, where you can finance the growth and education of your own people, where a voice crying in the wilderness say, make the path straight. But instead, we want to make the path crooked by doing what? Supporting these people who, like they said, they're getting free vacations to do what? Come back and push propaganda to support people who want to rule the world. And when they come into power, you going to be the ones that will be sacrificed. Right? So with that said, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight and fellowshipping with us. Tomorrow night we will be meeting, as I said, on the prayer line. Those of you who want to join us, let's have a chat. We got a couple things we'll talk about, and we'll have some fun. All right, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Brother Shea, for reading. Thank you all for sharing scriptures and everything else. May the Most High bless and keep you. And Elder is going to close out with prayer in the name of our King.
Oh, yes. Wonderful class again tonight. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for our teachers, our readers. We thank you for them and all the good things that they bring to us tonight, Father. It's really a blessing. And it's really an education that we all can see the things that are going on in this world. Father, we ask you to dismiss us with your blessing and also bless our teachers. Bless us all tonight as we are going to depart from each other. Father, help us that we'll have a good night rest. And tomorrow we'll get up and give you all the thanks and praise because we love you and we thank you. We ask it all through your Son Yeshua, we pray. Amen.
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 Let the words of our mouth and meditation of our hearts
be acceptable in your sight.
Oh,
Wabaya, who is our strength and our Redeemer.
Love you all. Stay strong, stay sharp. We say shalom.